You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
Night number 3 of our doubleheader extravaganza kicks off right now with the NBL Live pregame show brought to you each and every week by our graphic sponsor, Web3ks.com. They do all of our graphics here on NBL Live and all the other NBL Network shows. You'll probably see something that Web3ks.com has done. If you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, hit up Web3ks.com. They're the leaders in affordable graphic design. Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, Sonny Weaver. We've got doubleheader divisional action tonight, starting off with a battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers coming out of the AFC North and the undefeated 16-0 Los Angeles Chargers with Melvin Gordon, first running back in NBL history to go over 2,000 yards in the season. We're going to follow that up with a battle between the Saints and the Lions. Sonny, these two matchups are fantastic. I think most people, when they saw these matchups, these were the two games that everybody was most excited about. And we start off with, I think, what is the best game of the divisional round between the Steelers, that 96 overall team, taking on the undefeated Chargers. Can the Chargers keep the undefeated season alive with Melvin Gordon, or are the Steelers going to do what the Steelers do, which is win games in the playoffs? Should be a great battle here on NBL Live.
Yeah, and when you look at this game, what you're looking at really is the defenses for both, but they've got very different objectives. One is the Chargers have to slow down that passing attack, and that's where you're going to look to the pass rushing specialist, Joey Bosa, on that side, and the defensive secondary. And then on the other side, you talked about Melvin Gordon. The Steelers have got to shut down that running game, so Ryan Shazier is going to be huge in this game. So it's going to be a fun one to watch. I think both offenses are going to get off at some point. It's just going to be which defense can contain the strength of the other offense.
Should be a fantastic game to start off with, folks. A reminder, again, we'll be kicking off this game, and the second game will start immediately following the first game. So stick with us throughout this broadcast. We've got two great games on here. Let's reset the board so everybody can see some of the action that happened yesterday. Hey, there I am. Haha. Cleveland Browns coming out on top over the New England Patriots. Seattle Seahawks coming out on top over the New York Giants. Any of those surprise you, bud? Any of those surprise you, Sonny?
Well, I'm a little surprised at the NFC one.
Yeah.
Who does our graphics again?
This one, best part about this was I got this one from Bananas. We know what we're doing here on the NBL Network. I think JY made it.
Apparently, JY doesn't actually watch the games.
I can't even blame Kyle for this one. I'm a little sad. This is usually one where I'd go, great job, Kyle. No, this is Bleacher Report. What? Bananas is on the Bleacher Report team. So are you surprised the Seahawks apparently won that game without winning it?
Yeah, that's always a surprise when one team outscores the other and doesn't win the game. John Madden used to say that's how you win football games, but apparently not.
Wait, hold on. I can do this. Here we go. Yeah, let's just cross that out. There's that.
On the fly, folks. On the fly.
Wow. And there we go! Nailed it! The G-Men coming out on top in that game, even though Kyle, the owner of the Seattle Seahawks, tried to have his undue influence on the graphics. We caught it, and it's going to be the Giants who actually won that game. A lot of people confused in the chat. No, the Seahawks didn't come back. It's Kyle, our graphics producer, clearly has bribed Bleacher Report to put him in the NFC Championship game, but no matter how that happened, no, they didn't. The Giants won that game running away, Sonny Weaver. It wasn't even particularly close.
Yeah, and a little bit surprised. I thought the Seattle defense would have a better answer. I thought there could be struggles with that offense. It historically does have issues at times. But that Giants defense, we've seen two games so far when they've played well in both those games. I think that Giants defense could actually give this Lions team, if they do win tonight, which I won't spoil it, but spoiler alert. I think they could give them some real struggles.
Pats fan 0101 saying how to get in these leagues. Head over to 365.maddenbomberleague.com. You can apply to join the NBL in the grid there. I said just post that bad boy in the chat. But yeah, hey, shout out to Bananas of the Bleach Report team, owner of the New York Giants. Apparently didn't catch that error before he sent that over to me. So we're always we're catching these errors on the fly here, folks. It's been a long week. Got a lot of double headers coming up. All right, let's take a look at the players to watch. I'm really hoping when I click on these, they're going to be the correct players. They're going to be on the team. Drum roll, please. Hey, Martavis Bryant actually is on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers and Chargers coming up next. And Martavis Bryant, I think most would say there are a lot of weapons on the Steelers team, but he is the most important one to keep eye on because that's who Ben Roethlisberger has the best chemistry with. 67 receptions, 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns. We've seen him develop, Sonny, from really the underneath threat. With no Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant has become that number one receiver without AB on the left side. He's been forced to run a lot of different routes, and he's really flourished in the role without Antonio Brown on the field.
Well, and that's one of the issues you have with him, obviously. We played him in the last round, and we can tell you that covering this man is a tough thing to do. I tried putting all sorts of different cornerbacks, fast, strong, press, non-press. Not a whole lot you can do with it. He can take the top off you. He can work underneath. At some point, you got to try to take some chances. And we talked about tonight, you're going to have some good cornerbacks out there trying to cover him. But the key is going to be you've got to get to Ben Roethlisberger if you want to slow down this passing attack. That's the only way you're going to do it.
On the flip side, we've talked about Melvin Gordon. We know how good he is. We know his 2,000-yard season, how unbelievable that is. First time ever in NBL history, a running back has gone over 2,000 yards. But the key for the Chargers may be Carson Wentz today. Let's look at his numbers. 64 completion percentage, 2,600 yards, a quarterback rating of 91, 18 touchdowns, 16 interceptions. Not a lot of flash in these particular stats, Sonny. Not a passing team as exemplified by Melvin Gordon going for over 2,000 yards. But Carson Wentz is going to have to be very good today. He may have to carry this team a little bit because the Steelers defense, especially their front seven, very good at stopping the run. And when you start getting into those 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, and even longer situations, Carson Wentz is going to have to be accurate and not turn the ball over because if you give the Steelers extra possessions, they're going to win, and that undefeated season is going to be out the window.
And you just said it. Carson Wentz is the key to this game, but I think the key to this game will be if Carson Wentz has to go out and try to win this game. I do not see that being the case here. I think Melvin Gordon is the key here because if Carson Wentz is out there trying to win the game for you, something bad has gone wrong because that means Melvin Gordon must be out. This offense will flow through Melvin Gordon. Now, with that said, Carson Wentz is going to get a couple shots in this game with man coverage and one-on-one situations. He has got to hit those. I don't expect Carson Wentz to throw more than 15 passes tonight. If Carson Wentz throws more than 15 passes tonight, I'm leaning towards the Chargers are going to lose this game.
Well, guys, get your predictions into the chat here on Twitch, twitch.tv/NBL Network. We'll be reading those throughout the first quarter. Sonny, who do you like in this first part of our doubleheader? Two very good teams. Started the perennial powerhouse of the AFC going head-to-head in the divisional rounds. This is a matchup we've seen in the AFC Championship before. Rarely this early. The Pittsburgh Steelers slightly down this season, losing that AFC North for the first time in, I believe, 15 years, something like that, 15 seasons, losing to that division to the Cleveland Browns. Are they going to continue what they've done, which is win in the playoffs, or are the undefeated Los Angeles Chargers going to get another win, keep rolling with Melvin Gordon, and move on to the AFC Championship game?
Well, I think where I'm going to go with this one is I think the Chargers do end up taking this one. I think what you're going to find out is the Pittsburgh Steelers do get slowed down slightly by this pass rush of Joey Bosa, Melvin Ingram, and crew. I think Melvin Gordon doesn't chew clock because that'd be against rules, but I think he shortens this game. He's going to be tough to slow down. He will break a couple tackles. I think it's a relatively slow or low scoring game. I'm going to take the Chargers over Steelers 20-17.
Alaric 187 now following here on Twitch. Sonny Weaver taking the Chargers to keep that undefeated season alive, folks. Get your predictions in the chat, but let's get this doubleheader underway. Let's fill out that AFC and NFC Championship game. This one in the AFC side, and coming up next, it's a battle between two of the perennial powerhouses in the AFC. It's the Los Angeles Chargers, undefeated in the regular season. Never have we had an undefeated team win the NBL Super Bowl. They're taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers and owner Lip, looking for yet another NBL Super Bowl championship. It's the divisional round, and it's coming up right now here on NBL Live.
My name is Rex Dixon.
Craig Stein.
Clint from EA Sports.
You're watching NBL.
You're watching the NBL Network. And you're watching the MBLN Network.
Empty backfield for Atkins. He's been dropping back to pass here on 4th down. He's looking, deep over the middle. He has a man, it's Brandon Cooks, who catches and makes a man miss!
Oh, that's
Woodard is
touchdown.
dropping back. He's got open over the middle. It's
Wow.
That big playmaker
Look at
ability as
him
he
go.
finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another touchdown. And we are live as Pats Fan 101 now following here on Twitch. What a great night to be a part of the NBL Network, part of the following and subscriber community we have here over on Twitch, twitch.tv/NBL Network. Doubleheader action, more divisional round matchups. Let's fill out those two championships games, starting out with the second of the AFC divisional round matchups. Is the 10-6 Pittsburgh Steelers, wild card out of the AFC North, taking on the 16-0 Los Angeles Chargers, undefeated champions of the AFC West. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning into NBL Live, broadcast number 185 here on the NBL Network. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man Sonny Weaver. Sonny, this matchup, the marquee matchup of the divisional round. These two guys know what it's like to be in the AFC Championship. They know what it's like to win Super Bowl titles, and this is an unbelievable matchup to be having in the divisional round of the playoffs.
It really is, and I think Bomber talked about last night. The Browns really had kind of a favorable draw to stay away from these two teams in this playoff structure. Obviously, they were rewarded for winning that division over the Steelers, but you couldn't ask for a better way to get to the AFC title game than the path they went through.
Yeah, and the LA Chargers are going to start off with the ball first. We get to see Melvin Gordon. Sonny, how impressive was Melvin Gordon this year? I mean, absolutely an unbelievable season.
He really was, and the thing with Melvin Gordon is he just kind of grinds it out, and he'll get a couple low kind of 2-3 yard carries, and then all of a sudden he'll break a big one. So they got to make sure they give him enough carries here early in this game. 1st and 10 for the Los Angeles Chargers. Going to be Wentz throwing it on 1st down off the hands of Keenan Allen all the way back, an incomplete pass. This is something we've seen from the Chargers a lot, Sonny. This team likes to throw the ball early, and at times it digs themselves into a hole that they don't want to be in. Yeah, I think what you got to do is not outthink yourself. Melvin Gordon is the guy who brought you here, so you need to ride that until the wheels fall off, and throwing with Carson Wentz, especially a dangerous pass on 1st down, is not the way to start this game.
Now a 2nd and 10 for the Los Angeles Chargers. It's going to be Carson Wentz dropping back to pass once again. Looks over in the middle of the field, and he finds Hunter Henry with a big catch. Takes a hit at midfield. 1st down, Chargers. A little high pass to Hunter Henry. One of the favorite targets of Carson Wentz is that tight end. It's sort of the safety blanket for him in the passing game.
Good job by Wentz there, lofting it over the linebacker. The linebacker was kind of holding there, making the quarterback hold the ball longer than he wanted to, but he does loft it over and get that 1st down.
Now 1st and 10 for the Chargers. It is Carson Wentz under center, and it's going to be the first touch for Melvin Gordon trying to get outside. He does, and he fights forward near the 1st down marker up to the 40-yard line, 10 yards on the play. They're going to give him the 1st down there. Melvin Gordon does such a good job, Sonny. It's whether it's inside, whether it's outside, he has the breakaway speed to get away from defenders, and he can break tackles like nobody else.
Yeah, it was great vision there, too. He was running a little bit slower there to let the blocking set up and then accelerate around the corner.
And now 1st and 10 for the Los Angeles Chargers. Melvin Gordon in the backfield, and it looks like he's going to get another touch on 1st down right up the middle. Good collapse, though, by the defensive line, able to bring him down for no gain on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10. Chargers, how important is it, Sonny, for the LA Chargers to get a score on their opening drive, get a little confidence for this team, facing off against Pittsburgh Steelers team that knows how to play in the playoffs?
Well, historically, to beat the Steelers, it's important you get out to an early lead, because an early lead makes Ben Roethlisberger throw some passes he may not normally attempt. Not so many checkdowns, more downfield throws. And so if they can score here, you get in that position, but no score here is going to be an issue.
Wentz dropping back, looking for the C route, got absolutely clobbered as he threw that ball, an incomplete pass. Put too much mustard on that one. Can't blame him too much on that one as the pressure got there. And the first test of the day for the LA Chargers, no gain on 1st down, incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now Carson Wentz is going to have to do something here on 3rd down. Do you see them throwing the ball here, Sonny, or is it going to be just a safe handoff to Melvin Gordon?
I actually don't mind a little draw play here. They're expecting a pass of some sort. You're not super confident in Carson Wentz. Let him pick up 3 or 4 yards, kick this field goal.
3rd and 10 for the Chargers as Carson Wentz drops back, and he's going to give a touch to Melvin Gordon. He's going to get the 1st down up to the 26-yard line, 15 yards on the play, and Melvin Gordon making a big play in the passing game, converting a long 3rd down.
And that was a huge call there, and good call by the offensive coordinator. It was still to Melvin Gordon. It's just a different way to get it there. He does have the ability to fall forward, so even if he comes up short on that, he can fall forward, pick up some extra yards. Good call on the play.
Yeah, now a 1st and 10 for the LA Chargers. Ball on the 26-yard line. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Carson Wentz. Pistol formation. Melvin Gordon in the backfield. Keenan Allen split out to left. Look for him. He's the number 1 receiver. Free blitzer up the middle. He gets rid of it. Trying to find Jeff Hireman. Incomplete on the play, though, as the blitz came. Good job of Wentz recognizing the free blitzer up the middle, but nothing doing on that pass. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and bad play there only because he didn't have enough time to pick the route he wanted, and he ends up throwing it right at the apex of 2 defenders crossing there. I would have liked to see him go maybe to the right side on that inward breaking route.
2nd and 10 for Carson Wentz and the LA Chargers. Ball on the 26-yard line, and a little jump on the defensive side of the ball. Stephen Tuitt trying to get in the backfield. Free 5 yards on the play. That's the last thing you want to do with this Chargers team, Sonny, because they do sometimes struggle in those 3rd and long situations. As Raven02003 is now following here on Twitch. Appreciate the follow. If you get them in those long situations, that's where they can struggle, but giving them a free 5 yards, it opens up the playbook for them to give it to Melvin Gordon. They come out 3 wide receivers. It looks like they're setting up a little slip screen to Melvin Gordon, who catches it, cuts outside. He's got the 1st down and more inside the 5-yard line. Carson Wentz finding Melvin Gordon for the 2nd time today out of the backfield.
And that was a good call there. You got him on an aggressive pass rush to the play before you come back. With a screen, just making sure that they're probably thinking some sort of rushing attack there on 1st and 5. And good call there by the LA Chargers.
Cam601 saying, what is up, guys, in the chat? Welcome, Cam. Raven02003 saying, hey, guys, I'm a huge fan of you guys. Watch almost every stream. Come on, Lions, after this game. My hometown. Pass to the back of the end zone. Looking for Hunter Henry, and it's a touchdown for the Chargers. The passing game getting going as Carson Wentz finds Hunter Henry. 2 throws to the tight end, 2 throws to the halfback, and the Chargers are on the board first as they take the opening drive to the end zone. The home crowd here in LA, which is only about 32,000 people, but they're pumped as the Chargers up 7-0.
Good job there by LA. They kind of go against their own tendency. You got that short 1st and goal. Pittsburgh expects a run with Melvin Gordon, so they go straight to a pass, and they get Hunter Henry in the back of the end zone against, nonetheless, a good safety there. But in the end, Hunter Henry too much for the safety.
And a big tackle there as we find out Sims, the middle linebacker, dislocated elbow, will not return to the game. That's a loss in the middle of this defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now we can see the Pittsburgh Steelers offense come out. And Sonny, this is one of the hardest offenses to plan against because they have a great running back in Le'Veon Bell. And when you focus too much on Bell, then they hit you over the top with this great wide receiver and passing attack.
Yeah, and we're going to get to see that here early and often, I would guess. Bell struggled a little bit so far in the playoffs, only because he hasn't had to do a whole lot. They haven't really needed him. They've had, obviously, a great playoff run so far by Martavius Bryant. But Bell is the kind of guy that can keep you honest. He can break a run at any moment, 30, 40 yards downfield, and no one's going to catch him.
Bomber in the chat saying, Gub's the only owner in NBL who kicks full power and extra points. An isolated comeback with no Sonny does too. Your response, Sonny Weaver, the accusation that you're a full power kicker in on extra points.
Only when I know I need the extra point, because you cannot miss a full power kick along with perfect accuracy. The blue circle means it's unblockable.
So there's your response.
But I missed plenty of them too. But that has nothing to do with full power. I just forget the meters running.
Yeah, got it. I understand. 3rd and 11 now for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and a huge opportunity for the Chargers defense to get off the field. We talk about the Chargers offense a lot, folks, but this defensive line with Joey Bosa is so good. Let's see if they can stop here on 3rd and 11 against one of the best at picking up these third downs, Ben Roethlisberger, as he drops back to pass on 3rd and 11, steps up in the pocket, shakes off a tackler, and he's going to take off. Nope, he's still looking downfield, has a man down the middle. It's complete, and a first down for the Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger, 35 yards, doing a great job of shaking off the tackler and finding Jesse James, who broke off that route and found himself wide open in the middle of the field.
And that's what Ben Roethlisberger brings to the game, and this is what Pittsburgh worries about losing in the future, because this guy can make guys in the backfield kind of just shimmy off of them. Big play. That was all Ben Roethlisberger right there.
Bomber says, I hate Sonny, uncalled for in the chat. Don't know why you have to be so rude. Don't you know he's human too? As the pass underneath is complete. And look at him shake off defenders left and right and fight forward for the first down to the 26-yard line. Boy, it looked like the Chargers had Pittsburgh on their heels. And then a broken play turns into a huge first down on 3rd down. And right there, Arnold able to get 17 yards off that underneath throw.
You know, in all these games, it normally comes down to 1 or 2 big plays that make a difference, especially against 2 really good opponents here. We may look back at that first offensive drive where Ben Roethlisberger shakes Joey Bosa and think, man, that was a huge game-changing play.
Quick throw to the outside is complete down to the 11-yard line. Hop in the chat saying, I don't really like Sonny either. A lot of Sonny hate right now in the chat. Sonny, any response to the haters out there?
No, not really.
Okay,
Love me,
fair.
hate me, it doesn't matter. You're still talking about me.
That's true. No, any press is good press in the eyes of Sonny Weaver and the majority of businesses in this world. 1st and 10. Quick pass to the outside to Le'Veon Bell. Makes a spin move, but to get up to the 7-yard line, give him 4 yards on the play. That's where Le'Veon Bell can be most dangerous, Sonny, is when he gets outside the tackles in the passing game. We've seen him take a couple passes out of the flat to the house from much farther away than 11 yards.
Yeah, and the big hit there. This will be interesting here. Now you've got these Steelers down 3rd and 5. One thing is the Pittsburgh Steelers down here in the red zone obviously can't really utilize a lot of the speed they have down here. The good linebacker play from the Chargers is going to be big here. I think Pittsburgh, if I'm them, I'm still trying to get out on an edge here, because I think anything across the middle against this linebacking core may be a dangerous play for them.
Yeah, big 3rd down opportunity here for the Chargers to force the Pittsburgh Steelers to kick a field goal here inside the 10-yard line. Ball on the 6, 3rd and 5 for Ben Roethlisberger, and it's going to be a handoff up the middle, and a great read. They knew the halfback wham was coming right up the middle, and Perriman filled the big hole by that pulling guard and is able to bring down Le'Veon Bell for no gain. He even lost a yard on the play, and Pittsburgh's going to have to settle for a field goal. If you're the Chargers, Sonny, as it's up and good to make it a 7-3 ball game, you got to feel great for how your defense responded after the big 3rd down conversion, able to hold them to a field goal.
Yeah, and honestly, if you're LA, every time that they score a field goal instead of a touchdown, that's a win for you, because honestly, keeping this team out of the end zone is a pretty tall task.
Return around the outside as he gets up to the 30-yard line. As Bentipus now following here on Twitch. Appreciate the follow here, twitch.tv/MBL Network. Let's see what we got in the chat. Raven saying, are you guys scouting for the draft? Been scouting all season long. That draft will be broadcast right here, twitch.tv/MBL Network. Next week, it'll be probably mid to late week. You will want to look at. We're trying out a new draft format. Should be very interesting as Melvin Gordon gets a carry on 1st down. And that, Sonny, is the most prototypical Melvin Gordon play right there. He got hit at the line of scrimmage and still got 4 yards on the play.
Well, and he keeps his feet moving, and that's what's big about this guy is he's always falling forward because he's always chopping his feet. You hit him behind the line, he's still getting positive gains, and that's what I talked about. Every time that's a hit behind the line and only a 3 or 4 yard gain, when he gets in front of the line and makes that same play, he's going for 30 or 40.
2nd and 6 for the Chargers. Carson Wentz dropping back to pass. Gets out outside of the pocket as the pressure gets there, looking to the sidelines. Had a man, the receiver broke off his route really late. He was wide open and started moving. It looked like as Carson Wentz through the ball, it's an incomplete pass. Going to bring up a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, and that was a dangerous throw there. Wentz throws it over the hard flat, but those cornerbacks have a tendency of dropping back and catching those. So dangerous throw there by Wentz on the play.
Now a big 3rd and 6 for the Chargers, looking to capitalize on holding the Steelers to a field goal on their drive. Now 3rd down, it's a play-action pass. Wentz going to be dropping back. Only a 3-man rush from the Steelers. Wentz rolling to the outside. Nobody open to it, but he finally finds somebody open, and it's Williams over the middle of the field. Boy, what a great protection by the offensive line, giving Wentz enough time to wait for his receiver to break off of the route, and Williams comes to midfield, and very similar to how the Steelers converted their 3rd down, Williams is able to get to midfield and get to the 35-yard line, a huge conversion for the LA Chargers.
Again, we talked about 3-man rush on big 3rd downs, and we see that conversion. That's another issue here that we've seen in this game, that somebody's going to practice.
And Melvin Gordon's got a lot of room on the left side. What a great blocking on the outside, and to the end zone is Melvin Gordon. Touchdown Chargers, 35 yards out, and who else but Melvin Gordon, the first 2,000-yard rusher in the history of the NBL, just takes that one. That might be the easiest run he's had all season, as the extra point is up and good, and 14-3 your score here in LA.
Easy run from Melvin Gordon there as he found his way to the end zone. And at this point, if you're LA, you're feeling pretty good about this. Pittsburgh can score quickly, but you feel like your offense is doing enough to keep pace, and that's the big thing. As long as Gordon can keep running and you can keep pace with this 11-point lead, you've got to be feeling good here in the second quarter. What
a great job. That's the most impressive part about this Chargers team is that offensive line. Absolutely unbelievable. If you look through their ratings, it's bonkers as to how good that offensive line is. A big reason why Melvin Gordon was able to get to 2,000 yards this season. Now Pittsburgh looking to respond. I formation. It's going to be Le'Veon Bell getting the carry on 1st down. He's got a nice gain out to the right side. Give him 8 yards on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 2. Bell sort of gets lost on this team at times, but when Bell is good, this team is as good as it can get.
And then this is the time where things start getting interesting for Pittsburgh. You're down 11. Ben Roethlisberger tends to take a little more chances with this lead, especially early in this game. Look for maybe some passes into traffic coming up here for Big Ben.
2nd and 2 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Handoff to Bell over the right side. Good blocking once again. He's got the 1st down up to the 41-yard line. Another 8 yards on the play for Le'Veon Bell. A lot of questions, Sonny, as to who of this old guard is still going to be in Pittsburgh. We know that Lib wants to get younger in the offseason. Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, all possibly not going to be with this team next year. We could be seeing a totally different product on the field.
Yeah, it's very possible. We're hearing Big Ben, AB, both may be out. Bell may be back. Still yet to be determined. Could be a whole new look Steelers next year.
Hand off to Bell. 3rd straight carry for him. He'll only get a yard on the play here. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8. Question in the chat, Raven saying, OSU, who do you think is going to the Super Bowl? I've been big on this Chargers team the entire way. I still think the Chargers are the best team in the NBL. I think the Chargers get there. On the NFC side, it's hard to pick against Matt Stafford and the Detroit Lions. Sonny, you got 2 favorites to hit the Super Bowl this season?
Oh, I do like the Chargers and the Lions, but don't sleep on the Giants. I think that defense may be legit.
Yeah, they looked great yesterday. As a little play action, a little PAFK quick, and it does not go well as Martavis Bryant got absolutely obliterated over the middle. Looks like the guy who hit him, I couldn't tell if that was Perriman hitting Martavis Bryant, stayed down on the play. Going to bring up a 3rd and 8, and there's a huge opportunity for the LA Chargers. Get off the field and really put this game in danger for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We talk about how good their offense is at scoring quickly, but if you go down, if you punt this ball away, the Chargers have an opportunity to go up 21-3 potentially. So let's see what the Chargers do here on defense. Is Ben Roethlisberger dropping back to pass on 3rd and 8, steps up in the pocket, and does what he does. He finds Jesse James over the middle at the 37-yard line. 1st down Steelers, as it was Brown who went down on the play. High ankle sprain, will not return. He's a big part of this Chargers defense, Sonny, a big loss in their attempt to get to Ben Roethlisberger. He's a great pass rusher.
Well, and I'll tell you, the play before that will be forgotten, but that was such a great play by Perriman to kind of just check that receiver moving across the field inside the 5-yard chuck zone, and it really kind of threw off his balance even after catching that pass that disrupted.
Shotgun formation for Roethlisberger. Looks like they're setting up a little wide receiver screen. This is one of the staples of the play. Spin move, and he's inside the 10-yard line, down to the 5. A staple of the Steelers offense, that wide receiver screen. If it's man coverage, you have the corner out on the outside. Ben Roethlisberger, great check, finds Arnold wide open. 1st down, Steelers to the 5, and they come out breaking the huddle, looking to find the end zone. Couldn't get in the end zone from the 7-yard line last time. Now 1st to go for Roethlisberger. Empty backfield again as he drops back on 1st down. Looking. He's going to be taken down. 2-yard loss on the play as Randy Gregory gets the 1st sack of the day for this Chargers defensive line.
And Big Ben thought he was going to take off there. He's starting to climb the pocket a little bit. Just closed around him a little too quick there. A lot of traffic in that end zone down here in the red zone.
Yeah, the Steelers team, they run more empty sets than I think a lot of teams out there, and it seems like Ben Roethlisberger is so comfortable having nobody in the backfield. Now a 2nd and goal. Le'Veon Bell back into the game. He is to the right of Ben Roethlisberger. 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Howard coming into the game. He drops back to pass. Roethlisberger looking back looking just underneath. Looked like he was going to try to float that to the back of the end zone. Instead, he found Le'Veon Bell underneath in front of the linebacker. A real risky throw, but Bell makes the catch and gets down to the 1-yard line.
It looked like the linebacker stopped moving there like he thought the ball was coming to him, and instead Bell just crossed right in front of his face and grabbed that one. I think the linebacker just thought he was about to get a gimme. Instead, they're set up right here for a 3rd and goal from the 1. It's going to be a big play coming up.
And it's a quick 3-step drop, looking for the slant route on the outside, and great coverage. These Chargers cornerbacks, Hayward on the outside, great coverage. And Pittsburgh can't find the end zone again. A rarity for the Steelers team, Sonny, not being able to find the end zone from inside the 10-yard line. The pass defense was good, and the Steelers kick a field goal, but they got to feel flustered right now against this Chargers defense.
Yeah, we talked about it after the last one. Anytime 3 over 7, you feel like you won. So here's a big drive for the LA Chargers. If you can score a touchdown on this drive, I'm willing to say that the chance of losing this is going to start looking bleak when you've got a guy like Melvin Gordon back there carrying the rock. So this is a huge drive coming up for Pittsburgh, huge drive for LA. We'll see what happens. But a touchdown here, 21-6, 2 legit scores up. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Melvin Gordon, one of the best closers in the game. Let's see what the Chargers do, though, because Carson Wentz does have a propensity to throw a bad interception. 18 touchdowns, 16 interceptions on the year. He's had problems with the turnover bug. For the LA Chargers, they're only up 8 right now, 14-6. Defense playing strong, though, and the Chargers able to find the end zone 2 for 2 on their opening 2 drives. Now Carson Wentz under center on 1st and 10. It's a play-action pass. He rolls out to the right side. He has a man wide open over the middle. It's Keenan Allen. Takes a huge hit, but is able to hold on to the ball at the 47-yard line. 6 of 10, 109, and a touchdown. Sonny, if Chargers fans were looking at maybe the ideal start for Carson Wentz, a stat line like that, they got to be real happy with their quarterback.
Yeah, Carson Wentz did a good job checking the line there. He saw those linebackers shift to the left, so he went to that slide concept, basically making the linebackers run across the grain. Great check there by Carson Wentz. 1st
and 10 for Carson Wentz. Ball on the 47-yard line. He's under center. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Melvin Gordon in at halfback. He's going to get the ball right up the middle, and he fumbles it, but it's picked up by McDaniel. Oh, boy. Almost disaster for the Chargers. Melvin Gordon, usually very sure-handed, took a big hit, but great awareness by McDaniel to pounce on that ball.
Well, at that point, you got to feel like everything's going kind of your way if you're LA. What could have been a disaster, and it bounces right back into your lineman's hands. So, don't give up on Melvin Gordon right now. Obviously, that's a big issue there, but keep feeding him the rock.
4 wide receivers, 2 to each side for Carson Wentz. He's under center. And it looks like it's going to be a handoff to Gordon on a little draw play. Breaks 1 tackle, gets up to the 46-yard line. It's obvious here, Sonny. Even with the fumble, they're not going to stop feeding Melvin Gordon. They have so much confidence in the first 2,000-yard rusher in NBL history.
Yeah, you got to have confidence. 2,000 yards, it's not a fluke. It happens with skill, and Melvin Gordon's got plenty of skill here to try to carry this team to a victory.
Shotgun formation for Carson Wentz here on a 3rd and 3 from the 46-yard line. It's going to be Melvin Gordon getting the ball. Tries to cut it back inside. Ooh. Boy, he gets near the first down marker. I don't think he got it, though. It's going to be a 4th and 1 from the 44-yard line. And the Chargers will be forced to punt it away. What a tackle. Looked like he might have had an opportunity to get there, but a great job by the Steelers defense, able to hold strong and keep Melvin Gordon behind that first down line. This could be one of those plays you look at changing the way this game goes, as Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers are going to get the ball back. All 3 timeouts in a minute 36 to go. And they're going to have a long way to go as great special teams play brings them down to the 8-yard line. But what a stop by the Pittsburgh Steelers defense.
Yeah, and we talk about it all the time. The special teams, that 3rd phase of the game, that's hidden yardage. That could have been brought back out to the 20, but instead they're starting at the 8. That's a huge thing for LA to do there right before half.
2 tight ends for Pittsburgh. This is a play-action pass for Ben Roethlisberger. Rolls out, looking for anybody. Can't find him, and he's going to be taken down at the 1-yard line. Randy Gregory once again. Pittsburgh getting a little cute. Play-action rollout deep in their own territory, and it bites them with a 7-yard loss.
And Big Ben got caught staring down one receiver there. He had the crosser going across the field. He thought it was going to be wide open. Not quite there. The linebacker picked up on it, ran with the crosser, and he had nowhere to go. He just had to eat that one.
Let's see what the Chargers defense do here with the Steelers pinned back. Look for Le'Veon Bell to get a carry here to the left of Ben Roethlisberger in the shotgun on the 1-yard line. Nope, they're going to keep airing it out. Ben Roethlisberger dropping back, and he's going to throw it underneath. It is complete. I believe that is Javier Howard with the catch up to the 14-yard line. Nice safe throw by Ben Roethlisberger. Quick read, and they're able to get cut into this loss that they took on the sack, able to get 13 yards on the play and bring up a 3rd and 4.
Good job here by Pittsburgh. If I'm Pittsburgh, I maybe run this clock down a little bit. I'm a little worried to give LA back the ball here with so much time on the clock with 2 timeouts.
Yeah, 3rd and 4 now for the Steelers. Shotgun formation. Roethlisberger dropping back to pass. 4-man rush from the Chargers. He has a man wide open over the middle. He's got some room. Oh, the breakaway speed by Arnold. No one's catching him. Touchdown Steelers. 86 yards, and just like that, the Pittsburgh Steelers cut it back to a 2-point game pending this extra point. What a play from Ben Roethlisberger, taking a sack on 1st down, Sonny, and finding Arnold over the left side on 3rd down for a huge touchdown before the half.
Great call there. He switched it up to a seam route there. He saw cover 3, through the seam, ended up finding that hole in the cover 3, and just a great throw, great catch. Arnold's got some speed, so I'm a great punt returner. So he knew that after he had the ball in his hands, he should not have been caught. And there you have it, folks. Now Pittsburgh's back in this game, and now LA's got to be a little bit more worried about how this is going to go.
Yeah, that 6-point lead, it's dwindled. Holding them to 2 field goals, but not getting any points on the last drive. Gordon being stood up, forcing a 4th and 1 and a punt, and then Pittsburgh 3 plays later, 86 yards to the house. Ben Roethlisberger doing Big Ben things here, trying to get one more ring before we all assume he's probably going to retire. Pittsburgh's already said that they're probably not re-signing that guy. As on 1st and 10, Wentz looking for somebody. The coverage downfield is so good, and Wentz takes a big sack. T.J. Watt coming around the outside. Great coverage by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now the Steelers taking a timeout, and a little bit of psychological warfare going on between these two guys.
Yeah, Wentz wanted that dig from the tight end the whole way, and really just didn't happen. The linebacker was riding him up the field, kind of just checking him the whole way, and he never came free, and so Wentz ended up having to take that sack.
Now a 2nd and 17 for the LA Chargers. 2 timeouts, 35 seconds, Sonny. What do you do if you're the Chargers? A little bit on your heels right now.
Well, I think you run the ball and just get to half at this point.
Well, let's see what they do. It looks like they're going to be throwing it, though, as Wentz drops back to pass on 2nd and 17. He finds Melvin Gordon underneath, his 3rd catch of the day. Not a whole lot there up to the 24-yard line. Pittsburgh taking their 2nd timeout. So we have a 3rd and 12. It really wasn't a whole lot of reads there from Carson Wentz. He knew where he was going the entire time. Safe throw underneath. Jawar Forney, the safety we don't talk about a whole lot, but he is so good, Sonny. Already 6 tackles in this game.
Yeah, he's a big-time playmaker. Big play coming up here. LA cannot not complete this pass.
Well, Wentz dropping back on 3rd and 12, looking, looks over to the left side, tight coverage, and Williams makes the catch over Ryan Shazier. What a play. I don't think it was a smart throw, Sonny, but Williams making his 2nd catch of the day, and a big one for the Chargers down to the 46-yard line.
Horrible decision there by Carson Wentz. If that's incomplete, you're kicking the ball back to Pittsburgh with a timeout still, but nonetheless, it works for them, and now they got a chance to put some points on before the half.
1st and 10 for Carson Wentz, dropping back to pass, has a man open on the sidelines. It's Melvin Gordon once again, steps out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Boy, what a catch by Tyrell Williams. You may know that name, Sonny, because he's still kind of in your nightmares after that Tyrell Williams had that big catch for the Chargers over your Tennessee Titans. One of the best playoff finishes we've seen here in the NBL. Unbelievable play there by Tyrell Williams on the last drive. He's become a very reliable receiver for Carson Wentz. As on 2nd and 2, Wentz dropping back to pass, looking. Oh, he has a tight end down the seam. It's Hunter Henry down to the 11-yard line. A great throw by Wentz. 10 seconds to go, Sonny. No timeouts. Do you take a shot to the end zone against the Steelers defense, or do you take your 3 points and go into halftime happy?
Well, I think you have a shot. You get 10 seconds. You tell Wentz to basically cut down the field, look for one side of the field. If it's not there, just go ahead and chuck it out of bounds, come out and kick the field goal. But what you can't do is take a sack here.
Well, 1st and 10, 11-yard line. 3 wide receivers, to the left, one to the right. Hunter Henry in the slot, and Pittsburgh's giving him 5 yards. Some people would see that and be like, wow, that's a mistake. I don't know about that. I think shortening this field actually works to Pittsburgh's advantage.
Well, I don't think it hurts them, but what this lets you do is it kind of lets you run some high-low concepts down here either way. But now this is going to put you at the back of the end zone. So if you high pass towards the back of the end zone, it's going to be a touchdown or nothing here.
Well, they come back out, same formation. Three wide receivers to the right, one to the left. Henry in the slot on the right side. 1st and 5. Melvin Gordon to the left of Carson Wentz. 10 seconds to go. No timeouts for the Chargers. Gordon stays back for protection. Looks to the back of the end zone. He didn't get it. Oh, he had it. He was open. It was a good throw by Wentz, but Henry didn't get the feet in bounds. And the Chargers will be forced to settle for a field goal. That one, disappointing as it was a great read. Wasn't in bounds. That's on Henry.
Yeah, it was. It was a good attempt. Wentz tried to put it up there a little bit. Maybe if he kept it lower, it would have worked, but that's what we talked about. It was either going to be a Henry catch or it was going out of the back of the end zone. So a safe play there for LA.
Well, they take their 3 points to extend the lead back to 4 here with 3 seconds to go. They're going to kick this one off through the back of the end zone with that wind behind them, I assume, as LT Gray 23-11 now following here on Twitch. Appreciate the follow. That one through the back of the end zone. Steelers can get one play here. Got to think probably a kneel down from the Steelers. They're not going to force anything. 17-13 your score. Sonny, anything that's really surprised you here in the first half?
No, I don't think anything's really surprised me. I think Pittsburgh's offense has had their moments. I think LA's defense has been better than I thought they would be, even though I thought they'd be pretty good. They just got to kind of keep containing them here in the second half, and that starts right there with that good run stop there leading into the half.
Yep, and that's going to take us to halftime. Your score, Chargers 17 on top over the Pittsburgh Steelers. 17-13 your score. A great second half we have here. And again, folks, double header action once again here on the NBL Network. We got the Lions and the Saints coming up immediately following this game. Don't miss out on that one. That's going to be a great game, but we'll have a great finish here. Again, hit that subscribe button during our Super Bowl broadcast Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time here on twitch.tv/NBL Network. We're going to be giving away the first of our 3 subscriber gift packs valued at over $150. What's going to be in that one? Custom controller. We're going to have Xbox Live gift cards. Lots of swag in there. You're not going to want to miss out on that one. Again, you have to be a subscriber to win. But we'll be giving that away during the Super Bowl broadcast on Saturday night. That one's going to be pregame starting at 8:50. Kickoff 9:15 Eastern Time right here on Twitch. Should be a great game. But we got a lot of football before then, Sonny. We're all looking forward to that Super Bowl broadcast. We're all looking forward to the draft. But there's still a lot of games that have to be played. A lot of opportunities for some great moments here on the NBL Network.
It's going to be a whole lot of fun here coming up. And, you get to watch some great games and maybe win something.
Yeah, 1st and 10. Quick throw over the middle. That was a sweet possession catch by Perriman in the middle. Didn't have the ball, but it looked great. If the ball was in his hands, he had it, and he was going to go down to the ground. But unfortunately, it's a completion for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're up to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, thought he was going to get that one, just not quite enough.
But he wrapped his big mitts around that invisible ball and went to the ground. Now 1st and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ball on the 39-yard line. Shotgun formation for Ben Roethlisberger. 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left, 1 over to the right. Le'Veon Bell to the right of Ben Roethlisberger. As Roethlisberger changing up the play here. 5:07 to go here in the third quarter. Spot in the AFC Championship on the line. 1st and 10, deep shot down the left side looking for Bryant, and Hayward with a great one-on-one play on Martavis Bryant, showing off his chops as he's one-on-one with one of the best receivers in the game, Sonny, and Hayward comes out on top.
Great position there by Hayward. They got him one-on-one coverage out wide. Big Ben finds him, puts it up, gives him a chance, but Hayward knocking that down, and he actually does a good job of popping that in the air, trying to give his safety a chance to come over and get it.
Now 2nd and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ball on the 39-yard line, and Ben Roethlisberger is going to break the huddle once again with 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 over to the right. Le'Veon Bell in the backfield to the right of Roethlisberger. It's going to be Roethlisberger throwing it once again. Looks over to the left side. It is complete. A little in route from Martavis Bryant. Roethlisberger 12 of 16, 282 and a touchdown. You look at that stat line, Sonny, and I think before the game everyone would say, well, Pittsburgh's probably winning at that point, but they're not because they have struggled inside the red zone finding the end zone.
And they're going to need to, more struggles here for LA to keep up here because outside of the red zone, this offense is starting to heat up, it appears.
Roethlisberger dropping back to pass. Quick throw to the outside, complete to Bell, but good open field tackle on the outside. Only a couple on the play, going to bring up a 2nd and 7. While we have a moment here in the third quarter, guys, we want to give a big shout out, as always, to our graphic sponsor and our pregame sponsor, web3ks.com. They do great work for us. If you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, if you have custom graphic work that needs to be done, hit up web3ks.com. All business will take care of you. Web3ks.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design. 2nd and 7 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Shotgun formation, empty backfield for Ben Roethlisberger. He's emptied it out. He's got 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end out there. He drops back to pass on 2nd and 7. Looks over to the left side. The user a little suspect today, Sonny. That's the second time we've seen the user on the left side had an opportunity probably to make a play and just ended up turned around.
Well, it's been a good job of realizing that user likes to drop inside for all the crossing routes. So by playing kind of towards the outside shoulder of his zone, he's getting some open routes.
It's 1st and 10 for Ben Roethlisberger. Shotgun formation once again. And this time he's going to hand the ball off to Le'Veon Bell. He's got a lot of room on the right side. Sanford comes up, makes a big hit. But 8 yards on the play up to the 2-yard line. Going to bring up a 2nd and 2. And that is what the Pittsburgh Steelers do, Sonny. We know Le'Veon Bell sometimes gets lost on this team, but and that is the epitome of them. They throw it 6 times in a row, and then all of a sudden, Le'Veon Bell is hitting you in the mouth with a little outside zone run. Now 2nd and 2, and a jump on the defensive line is going to give him a yard up to the 1 yard. It doesn't give him the first down. Nope, still 2nd and 1. They can technically get a first down at what appears to be the half-yard line.
Sure. Yeah, they don't have far to go.
2nd and 1, 2 tight ends. Howard coming in motion. It's going to be Howard getting the ball. This is a staple of their team, and it's a touchdown for the Steelers. A little jet sweep. The wide receiver quick. You knew it was coming, folks, and it works once again as Javier Howard runs it in from 1 yard out, and Pittsburgh on top. Here in LA, the Chargers dominating the first quarter. It's been Pittsburgh making the big plays since then.
Yeah, Pittsburgh showing why they are one of the best teams in NBL. They're finding a way back. The offense appears to be going. And really, LA's not had much of a pass rush in this game. It seems like Big Ben's had a lot of time to throw. And we talked about it in the pregame. They've got to get to Big Ben if they want a chance to win. We saw the 3rd and long earlier in the game where they bounced off of them. Since then, really not seems like Ben's been really bothered at all in the pocket.
That return up to the 25-yard line. We can see the Chargers offense coming out of halftime, Sonny. They looked real good in the first half. Carson Wentz very effective. This is usually where you see Melvin Gordon get the ball a little more. They've lost their lead now. Do you keep throwing it with Carson Wentz, who's really picked apart this Pittsburgh defense?
No, I'm definitely getting Gordon involved because I want to shorten the game. I want to wait for one Big Ben mistake to kind of take over this game.
Melvin Gordon do Melvin Gordon-like things as he stumbles forward for a first down. 8 carries, 69 yards. Shout out to Gronk. 1 touchdown on the day. He has been a big part of this Chargers offense. Not as much as many would expect, but if you've watched the Chargers, this has sort of always been their game plan. Carson Wentz throws it early. Melvin Gordon slams the door late. Williams coming in motion here. On 1st and 10, it's a toss play to Melvin Gordon on the outside. Got a little bit of room. Spin move, making the corner look silly, and gets up to the 40-yard line. 5 more yards on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 5.
And we're seeing Gordon kind of get going here. I like the fact they haven't gone away from him yet. They need to keep running it here and then let Wentz take a shot downfield as they make a couple more first downs.
Now 2nd and 5 for Carson Wentz in the Chargers. Ball on the 40-yard line. As Oliver into the game at halfback. 2 wide receivers, both Williams over to the right side. He's going to drop back on 2nd and 5. Blitz coming, picked up by Oliver. It's going to be a quick throw to the outside, finding Tyrell Williams once again. First down, Chargers. How impressive has this offensive line been, though, Sonny? They have kept Carson Wentz clean all game and have done a great job for Melvin Gordon, opening up some big lanes for him to run through.
Oh, they've done a great job. And this Chargers offensive line, one of the best in the league, is actually giving Wentz a pretty good amount of time in the backfield when he drops back to pass. I think Chargers really need to focus on keeping Gordon going, though, in this.
Now 1st and 10 for the Chargers. It looks like it's going to be Melvin Gordon getting the ball, makes the man miss, and able to get up past midfield to the 46-yard line. Another 5 yards on the play. Going to bring him a 2nd and 5, and Gordon, Sonny, he gets a lot of those big runs. We've seen him go 60, 70 yards in one chunk, but it's the 5-yard runs that really take a toll on the defense.
We talked about it. You know, he's going to chip away. Keep going. He's going to break one of these. Just wait for it.
I formation for the Chargers. Gordon at the top of that I. 2 wide receivers. Allen to left, Williams to the right. He drops back to pass on 2nd and 5. He's going to find Melvin Gordon once again. Boy, Gordon getting all the touches. It may not have been all in the rushing attack, but that is another catch for Melvin Gordon out of the backfield. His 5th of the day, and another first down picked off by the check down to Melvin Gordon.
Finding different ways to get him the ball, and that's the key. He is the best player on your team in the league. Get him the ball.
Yeah, 1st and 10. Once again, I formation. Allen to the left, Williams to the right, Hunter Henry on the right side of that formation as well. 1st and 10 with Melvin going to the top of that I. It's going to be a pass here for Carson Wentz. Quick little curl for Keenan Allen. He can't hold on to the ball, though. Second one we've seen Keenan Allen drop. He's a big part of this passing attack, but we've seen Carson Wentz sort of go away from him as his reliability has dropped towards the end of the season. Maybe got a little bit of the yips right now.
It does seem to be that way. Some of these throws, especially on these curl routes, seem a little late. I feel like they need to do a better job of getting them there on the break.
2nd and 10, 2 wide receivers for the Chargers as Wentz dropping back to pass on 2nd down. Rush coming right up the middle. Boy, a delayed blitz and a big sack for the Pittsburgh Steelers, bringing the Chargers back 9 yards on the play. Again, Melvin Gordon doesn't get a touch on those first 2 plays, and the Chargers now are staring down a 3rd and 19. And this is bad news bears for the Chargers, Sonny, because if you can't convert, if you can't get points on this drive, you're putting it back to the Steelers.
That would be game for them, I think. They've got to get points in this drive if they want to stay in this race.
Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end out there for Wentz. He drops back to pass. Blitz coming on the left side, and Wentz takes another sack. TJ Watt, 2nd of the day. A free rush on the left side. Not good recognition by Carson Wentz. The offensive line falls apart at the end of that drive, and LA's got to punt it back to Pittsburgh with a 3-point lead. Danger zone here in LA.
Not looking good for the Chargers at this point. In pregame, we talked about it. You got to be able to go score for score from them. They did such a good job of limiting those touchdowns early on. But like most that try to match up score for score with Pittsburgh, it's just a really tough thing to do.
Especially when you don't give your 2,000-yard rusher touches on that last set of plays. 3 downs, no touches for Melvin Gordon. And it ends up in a punt. 2017 Pittsburgh on top here as we're nearing the end of the 3rd quarter. And once again, spread them out. 4 wide receivers for Ben Roethlisberger. Nobody in the backfield as he drops back to pass here on 1st and 10. Down goes Roethlisberger, though. A big sack as Randy Gregory. What a game he is having. His 3rd sack on Ben Roethlisberger. Free rusher on the outside. 9-yard loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And that's what we talked about. We got to get that pass rush going. They get it there. Trying to set up that screen pass, not happening, and good job there by LA.
Now 2nd and 19 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Once again, 4 wide receivers, empty backfield for Roethlisberger. Jesse James standing up on the right side of that formation. Look for him. He's been a big target for Ben Roethlisberger here on 2nd and 19, dropping back to pass. He's going to look underneath. It is complete, but Fowler making a nice tackle on Javier Howard at the 16-yard line. He'll get a couple back, 6 on the play, and a huge 3rd and 13 for the LA Chargers. A crucial time for this Chargers defense to stand strong and get a stop against one of the most explosive offenses in the NBL.
Now, what you can't do is drop everybody but 3 guys back and think Big Ben's not gonna pick you apart. You've got to send an extra rusher to at least 4 guys have to be trying to get to him, and you've got to get after the quarterback.
Well, let's see if they can get a stop here. Maybe a sack, maybe a big play. We haven't seen any turnovers so far. Is this a time? 3rd and 13, and a conservative play call from the Steelers. A handoff to Bell. And they're going to punt it back, maybe trusting their defense right now. They've gotten a couple stops on the Chargers here in the 2nd half. Interesting play call by the Steelers. They've really had no problems passing the ball against this Chargers defense.
Well, there's not a lot of plays in the playbook for 3rd and 17. So it does make sense. They're getting a little conservative here. We'll see how that works out for them.
Foreman is going to take this ball to the 15-yard line, up past the 20, spin move, past the 30, trying to get up to the 35-yard line, but Can is taken down to the 31. A nice tackle from behind, and now the Chargers, 5:49 to go. Sonny, this is where Melvin Gordon can be so important. It's just hand the ball to that guy and let him do work, use up this clock, and get in the end zone because the Chargers need to score here.
And if you can get away with scoring a touchdown here with a lot of Melvin Gordon runs, you give it back to Pittsburgh with short time. You don't want to give it back to them with a long time because they can actually milk that clock out pretty well themselves.
1st and 10 for Carson Wentz. They're going to be throwing it on 1st down. Looks over to the right side, a little out route to Williams. That's Mike Williams with the catch up to the 48-yard line. 1st down Chargers. Haven't seen the out route by the LA Chargers all day. Mike Williams been quiet. First catch of the day, but it's a big one. 17 yards and a 1st down for the Chargers in the near midfield.
Wentz having a pretty successful day today. He's made some good reads. Haven't made too many bad reads. He got bailed out on the one Williams catch. Kind of surprising.
Chargers, once again, the only undefeated team in the NBL, looking to be the first team to go undefeated and win a Super Bowl title. 1st and 10 for Carson Wentz and the Los Angeles Chargers. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 over to the right. Hunter Henry on the right side of that formation. Melvin Gordon in the backfield on 1st and 10. It's a play-action pass rush coming. He's got to get rid of it quick. He's looking for Williams down the right side, who makes a catch, takes a hit, and holds on to the ball at the 13-yard line. Mike Williams held quiet, held no catches in the first 3 quarters, has back-to-back catches in the 4th, and none bigger than that one inside the 15-yard line. What a play from Mike Williams.
And the Williams guys kind of bail out Carson Wentz. He at times puts these floaters up there and lets him go up and get it. And these guys are just such big targets that it's really hard to guard them. And Pittsburgh there was in good coverage. It just didn't work out for them.
Yeah, he had a step on the outside on Davis, was able to get to the end zone, or get to the 13-yard line and make the catch. Gordon, great contained on the outside by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Gordon trying to find some room. No gain on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10. Stick with us, folks, again. We have that second part of our doubleheader. We're going to fill out the NFC Championship game as well with the Lions and the Saints immediately following this game. You won't want to miss it, but a great finish here on NBL Live broadcast number 185. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, Sonny Weaver. Steelers and owner Lip. One of the great owners here in the NBL, taking on Gubb, owner of the LA Chargers, looking for his 2nd Super Bowl title, looking to finish off an undefeated season. The Chargers still have not lost a game. Quick drop here for Wentz, looks to the out route, it's complete to Keenan Allen, who makes the catch and gets into the end zone. The Chargers back on top. Keenan Allen, tough day for him, couple of drops on some big hits, but right there, used his agility and got the out route and was able to find the end zone. The Chargers kick the extra point. It's up and it's good. They're back on top by 4.
And now we're going to find out a lot about this LA defense. A big stop here. And you can let Melvin Gordon kind of kill this game. Pittsburgh, it's a big response. Look for Big Ben to look for his go-to wide receiver, Martavius Bryant, often on this drive.
Yeah, we haven't heard a lot from Bryant. It's a nice return up to the 32-yard line. That's where Pittsburgh's going to start with the ball here. 1st and 10. Do you question the play, Sonny, to hand the ball off to Le'Veon Bell on that 3rd and 13? Or even with the Chargers scoring, are you, if you're Pittsburgh, are you feeling pretty confident knowing how well your offense has been today?
Well, you've got the ball and you've got the chance to go up, so you're always feeling good. Watch this set here. If they see man coverage, they like to take a shot. If not, they like to throw this little screen route.
Yeah, 1st and 10, empty backfield for Ben Roethlisberger. 5 wide receivers out there. It's going to be Roethlisberger dropping back to pass, steps up in the pocket, looks underneath. It is caught, but a big hit by Perriman jars that ball free. Only the 5th incompletion for Ben Roethlisberger. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And good coverage there by the linebacker. They had a linebacker on as safety. They kind of showed some disguises in the coverage, and I think it may have caught Pittsburgh by surprise there.
Now a 2nd and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger dropping back. Rush is coming. Barely gets it off and finds Javier Howard underneath at the 38-yard line. Give him 5 yards on the play. Roethlisberger took a big hit on that play. Excuse me, that was Arnold with the catch. His 5th catch. 5 catches. 146 yards for Arnold. And that was a big one as they were able to avoid the sack and get 5 yards on the play.
And good game so far by Arnold. He's kind of stepped into this one, replacing Antonio Brown pretty well.
Now a 3rd and 5 for the Pittsburgh Steelers as Roethlisberger drops back to pass. Quick toss underneath. Le'Veon Bell's got the 1st down and more. Bad tackle. And Le'Veon Bell's in open space. No one's catching Bell. Pittsburgh responds. Touchdown Steelers. Le'Veon Bell takes a little Texas route. Some bad tackling by the Chargers. And the Steelers back on top by who else? Le'Veon Bell from Ben Roethlisberger trying to keep the season alive.
And Le'Veon Bell running through traffic there. You figure he was going to get dropped, pick up the 1st down, but instead he just weaves through traffic and he takes it all the way. You're still okay if you're LA, 336. This is kind of the perfect situation to be in because you've got plenty of time here to score without giving Pittsburgh back the ball. I'm okay with even going to overtime, but what I'm not going to do is score quickly here and give Pittsburgh the ball and a chance to go down the field and win. You've got to kind of conservatively work the clock down as you're moving down the field and know a field goal ties it, a touchdown wins it, but what I can't do is score a touchdown early in this drive.
Well, this one's going to be a very interesting finish. We'll see if the Chargers offense, Sonny, they've been pretty impressive today. But really, Melvin Gordon has been held in check only in the sense of the Chargers haven't really run the ball with him a lot. He's been big in the passing game. Well, you haven't seen that ground and pound from Melvin Gordon. Let's see if we see it here. The Chargers needing a field goal to keep their season alive, the undefeated season alive. I formation, 2 wide receivers out there for Carson Wentz. Under center, Melvin Gordon at the top of the eye. Hunter Henry on the right side of that formation. Play action pass. He's going to be looking to throw. Has a man open on the left side. It's Keenan Allen with a 1st down to the 38-yard line. Nice throw there from Carson Wentz.
Interesting. They're putting the ball in Carson Wentz's hand with the season on the line. Not Melvin Gordon, not the MVP, not your 2,000-yard rusher, but a meddling average quarterback here. we'll see how this works out.
Now, 1st and 10, handoff to him going over the right side. The blocking is good. He's got some room. He's got the first down to the 49-yard line. 91 yards for Melvin Gordon, only on 15 carries. And with 3 minutes to go, again, if it's your first time joining us here on NBL Live, we appreciate you tuning in. NBL rules state you can't kill the clock until under the 2-minute warning. So if the Chargers had any thought of milking this clock out till that field goal, they're going to have to wait until under that 2-minute timeout. Both teams, all 3 timeouts remaining. Now 1st and 10 for Carson Wentz. 3 wide receivers, both Williams on the right side, Keenan Allen on the left. Melvin Gordon in the backfield here on 1st and 10, 2:39 and counting as he's changing up the play on 1st down. And changing it back on 1st down, and he's going to drop back to pass on 1st and 10. Looking, doesn't see anyone open. He's going to have to get rid of this ball as he's being pursued, and he chucks it out of bounds. Nice job by Wentz, able to get out of the pocket and chuck it out of bounds. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Not the worst play in the world. I really don't know why they get away from the run, though. I think you've got to go back to Melvin Gordon here. You got to keep this clock moving, and you got to pick up a 1st down. I get worried if they're going to get really Carson Wentz heavy here. You know, I get crunch time, but Melvin Gordon is what got you here. Go back to what got you here.
Now a 2nd and 10 for the Los Angeles Chargers. They're just over midfield on the 49-yard line. Melvin Gordon in the backfield, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers out there for Carson Wentz, who is under center. And he's going to hand off to Melvin Gordon over the left side. And a big hole once again. Just ranged a little too far to the left. If he stays inside a little more, he's got the 1st down. But give him 6 yards on the play. And what a big moment here, Sonny. 3rd and 4. 4-down territory for the LA Chargers. They need a conversion. They need to stay in field goal range. You got to think Melvin Gordon should get a touch here.
Yeah, you'd think Melvin Gordon gets a touch here because all you need is a yard or 2 for a relatively easy field goal. I'm not sure which way the wind's blowing here, but yeah, I think you have to. And if you don't get it, maybe you can consider going Melvin Gordon again.
Shotgun formation for Wentz. Gordon to his left, 3 wide receivers out there, and that's going to take us down to the 2-minute warning. A frantic finish here on NBL Live, folks. They're looking to face off against the Cleveland Browns, who made it after their game yesterday, Sonny. Is there either team here you think has the edge over the Cleveland Browns?
I'll take both over Cleveland.
3rd and 4 for the LA Chargers. Once again, shotgun formation. It's going to be Melvin Gordon getting the carry. Oh, and he is stopped. He never cut inside, and a great blitz from the outside. A perfect call. The corner blitz brings down Melvin Gordon with 1:50 to go. They're going to have to go for it here on 4th down. What a play call by the Pittsburgh defense.
That's a brilliant play call there by Pittsburgh, and you got to feel like that's some advanced scouting there. They knew LA was going to try to get the edge, so they actually flipped that, changed who was coming on that blitz, and cut him right off.
1:43 and counting. Shotgun formation for Wentz. This could be the ball game, folks. He's going to drop back to pass on 4th and 7, and he's got a man. It is complete. Williams with another huge catch. Tyrell Williams this time up to the 27-yard line. 4th and 7, no problem. Carson Wentz having maybe the best game of his young career here in LA.
Yeah, Carson Wentz got ice water in his veins right now, especially here in this 4th quarter. He's doing what he has to do to win. And now if you're LA, you're in perfect position here because the clock is in your favor. You know, at worst, you're going to come away with a tie, taking it overtime, but you've got a couple shots here to get into the end zone. Keep an eye on that clock, though. You've got those 3 timeouts. Don't let it sink too low.
And Melvin Gordon's got to cover up the ball. Don't want to see another fumble here. It looks like they're set up a little slip screen to Melvin Gordon. The blocking is out there. It's picked up beautifully. A patient run by Gordon to the outside. A spin moving into the end zone. What a run by Melvin Gordon. Making plays once again. Touchdown Chargers as they go up 3 in this one. What a play call and what a job by Melvin Gordon. MG2K going off once again.
Through the air, on the ground, it doesn't matter. Melvin Gordon is the guy you want to get the ball in his hands. They find a way to do that there, and now LA's up here, but don't sleep on Pittsburgh. 1 minute left in the game. Ben Roethlisberger with the ball for a chance to go to the AFC title game. I feel like I've seen this movie play out before.
Yeah, well, let's see what the Chargers defense can do. Oh, Melvin Gordon continues to impress, Sonny. What a patient run, too. I mean, the spin move, unbelievable, down at the 5-yard line to get in the end zone. But did you see how nicely he just waited for that blocking to get set up and found the end zone? A great job by Melvin Gordon.
Been impressive.
He's been unbelievable. 1st and 10 from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Roethlisberger dropping back on 1st down, stepping up, looking down the middle of the field. Oh, this could be a bad throw. Oh, Martavis Bryant, though, almost played defense on that one as Trey Boston was licking his chops trying to get that pick. It's incomplete, though. Pittsburgh stays alive.
Yeah, bad angle there by Boston. Actually took a route behind the wide receiver. If he cuts that off, that is an interception. That's a game. But nonetheless, good coverage on Martavis Bryant. He rode him the whole way down the field. Ben Roethlisberger getting a little antsy in the pocket.
A loaded lunatic in the chat still saying Steelers going to win 55 seconds to go. They've got all 3 timeouts. Plenty of time for Ben Roethlisberger. He drops back on 2nd and 10. It's a quick throw underneath to Martavis Bryant. It's a first down to the 36-yard line. They're going to take their first timeout. Sonny, you got to think if you're the Chargers and you're talking to them on the sidelines, the big message, don't go for the big tackle. Wrap up. We don't need any missed tackles here because a field goal doesn't do it for Pittsburgh. They have to find the end zone. The Chargers defense has to be disciplined.
Yeah, and I'm being pretty conservative here in my tackling. No big hits, just wrap them up and keep them in bounds.
Once again, 4 wide receivers, empty backfield for Roethlisberger, 1 tight end on the right side of that formation. 48 seconds to go, ball on the 36-yard line. Roethlisberger dropping back to pass on 1st and 10, steps up in the pocket, nobody open. And so Roethlisberger's going to take off and slide down, takes 8 yards on the play. And they're going to hurry back to the line here, 37 seconds and counting. And Bryant, it's going to take a while for him to get back. They're using a lot of time here setting up that play. Now we're down to near the 30-second mark and now under the 30-second mark. Ben Roethlisberger dropping back on 2nd and 3. Looks over the middle of the field. It is complete, but a big hit. What a hit over the middle to jar that ball 3. They thought they had a receiver wide open, but the Chargers defense laying the lumber. 25 seconds to go. They're on the 44-yard line, needing to get to the house.
Poor clock management by Pittsburgh there. Well, really it's Ben Roethlisberger. You've got to chuck that ball out of bounds. You don't take off for 8 yards. 8 yards doesn't do you anything there. You need to throw the ball out of bounds. Instead, they had to run that hurry up. I would have called a timeout, but now you're looking at basically 25 seconds for a win here.
Yeah, it was a bad decision to only get the 7 yards, and then a weirder decision not to take the timeout. Roethlisberger steps up in the pocket, looks to the comeback route. What a play on the sidelines. It's complete to Bryant. 36 seconds to go, and they take their 2nd timeout. The coverage was tight, but Bryant just a little better. First down, Steelers, 36-yard line, 18 seconds to go. Sonny, do the Steelers have this one? 1 timeout left. Are they going to do it, or are the Chargers going to hold firm?
They've got a chance. Now, what they need to do here is they need to go about 20 yards downfield and call this timeout, and that's going to set them up for a couple plays down here in the red zone. So I'm looking in that 15, 20-yard range here. 1st
and 10. He's dropping back to pass. Roethlisberger steps up, looks over the middle of the field. It is incomplete, looking for Jesse James, but it's an incomplete pass. A big hit once again. The Chargers defense coming up big as Verrett makes the tackle to pry that ball free. 13 seconds to go. Oh, clock is running down. This could be one of the biggest moments here in NBL playoff history.
Again, I feel like I've seen this story before. Somebody brought up Browns Steelers. We'll see how this one goes.
3 wide receivers to the right. 2 over to the left side. Le'Veon Bell in the slot on the left. Roethlisberger drops back here on 2nd and 10. Steps up, looks over the middle of the field. Does he have a man out? A great hit. He had a step. It was Martavis Bryant in the slot. The man coverage, though, was able to make a play and pry that ball free once again. Incomplete pass. 8 seconds to go. The Steelers season on the line.
Yeah, good coverage there. They knew that it was going to be a cover 2 man, so they had Martavis Bryant split what they thought was going to be cover 2. They had 2 outside streaks going, and so what that did was that split those safeties, and you still had good coverage down the middle, though. Good play design there, just not enough to pull it in.
Folks, it doesn't get bigger than this. Chargers trying to stay undefeated. Pittsburgh trying to get another Super Bowl. A big win here, divisional round, 3rd and 10. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 over to the left. Roethlisberger dropping back to pass, steps up in the pocket. He's going to chuck it up. It is complete to Le'Veon Bell. And they get the timeout. That was the longest second I've ever seen. But they somehow get the timeout. 1 play to decide the divisional round. 1 play to get to the AFC Championship. The season's on the line. It doesn't get bigger than this.
The longest 1 second I have ever seen in my life there as they do get the timeout off.
How many times do you think Lip was hitting that timeout button? Like, it just... Unisolated, 1 second equals 87 minutes. This is utterly wild from Lil Fish. 1 second reported. This is your game. Empty backfield. Steelers looking for the win. Chargers looking to keep the undefeated season alive. 8 yards away. 1 play as Radford subscribes over on YouTube. Appreciate the sub. Roethlisberger drops back. He's moving around, looking for some room. He chucks it to the back of the end zone. It's incomplete! Martavis Bryant had it in his hands, and the big hit by the Chargers! The Steelers season is over! The undefeated season is alive! The Chargers are going to the AFC Championship!
Wow. You saw it go down. The ball was tucked away, but when he hit the ground, it came out. You got to complete the catch to the ground. What an amazing throw there. Such a crazy ending that it didn't come out a touchdown.
The Chargers season still alive as they will face off against the Cleveland Browns. Oh, what a finish in LA! A frantic final drive ends 8 yards out. A great game, a candidate for NBL Live Game of the Year, and the Chargers will face off against the Browns in the AFC Championship game. Sonny, is this the last we've seen of Ben Roethlisberger in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform? They couldn't even get to the AFC Championship game. Is it going to be no more Big Ben in the black and yellow?
Unfortunately, I think there are going to be some change in Pittsburgh. I'm not sure it's going to be Ben under center next year. But if that's the last game we saw of Big Ben Roethlisberger, 400 yards, a couple TDs, gave them a chance to win at the end. Can't complain too much about that.
What a finish. What an unbelievable game. Hold on. I was typing something. Anywho, we still got another game to go, folks. Don't go anywhere. We've got the NFC Divisional. We're going to fill out this whole AFC and NFC Championship game tonight. One of it is set. It's the Browns and the Chargers for the AFC Championship game. And now we can see who will face off against the New York Giants. It is the Steelers. It is the Lions and the Saints facing off for the right to get in the NFC Championship game. We got to pick our play of the game, though. For broadcast number 185, Sonny, I got nothing right now. Melvin Gordon had a great game. 14 carries, 94 yards. So big out of the backfield, though, with those catches. He got that big touchdown to put him on top. My inkling would be to go with Melvin Gordon because he's been great all season. He was great tonight.
I'm kind of leaning Carson Wentz. 3 touchdowns, 322 yards.
Sure.
Kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. I think the guy, that last drive, even the check down to Melvin Gordon there, before that play, he made a great throw to get him down there. That big 4th down conversion to Williams. I feel like Carson Wentz really grew up in this game.
Good enough for me. What a game by Carson Wentz. He was your player to watch. He'll be your player of the game for broadcast number 185. You can check out all of our player of the games over on our website. That's at 365.maddenbarmerleague.com. You can check it all the way back to broadcast number 1. It's a great look back at NBL history. You can also apply to join the Madden Barmer League there. 365.maddenbarmerleague.com. All right, everyone. Deep breath. That's one game down. We still got another one here. Lions and Saints coming up. Sonny, this one, not quite as much intrigue, maybe because I think a lot of people are looking at this game as a more lopsided one. The Lions are absolutely fantastic this season. Lost Matt Stafford in the middle of the year. Brad Kaye came in, performed questionably, I think would be the best word for that. But Stafford's healthy. Harvey Beckham, HB18, is healthy. This Lions team has played great the last couple weeks of the season. On the flip side, the New Orleans Saints have really come on hot. Ross Bonham, big win in the wild card round. How lopsided is this game in your mind?
Well, I think this game could be a little sneakier than people project. Obviously, the transitive property doesn't work in football or NBL. But with that said, the Vikings, I thought, were the better team coming into that game just last round, and it didn't come out the way we thought. And we know the Vikings have had some good battles with the Lions. I think the Saints, if that defense can slow them down just a little bit, could have a chance in this game.
Yeah, what do you think of Ross Bonham at quarterback? A guy that has had some great performances on NBL Live. He seems like a guy that when the bright lights come on, he plays better.
Yeah, Ross Bonham actually having a great season, kind of an underrated season. Not a lot of guys talking about him, but put together a solid season down in New Orleans. I think he's got some weapons around him to do some damage. I think if the Saints go on to win tonight, Ross Bonham's going to have a flawless performance, but he's capable of doing that.
Well, let's take a look at some players to watch for this Lions and Saints games. On the side of the New Orleans Saints, Kenny Vaccaro is going to have to be big against this passing attack from the Detroit Lions. He's having a nice season, maybe a little down, though. Only 33 tackles, 3 interceptions, 6 passes deflected. But the interesting part, 4 tackles for loss. He's also forced to fumble. Vaccaro comes up into the box a lot, Sonny. He's a run stopper. He's able to get to the quarterback and cause problems. But when you're the New Orleans Saints facing a passing attack as prolific as the Detroit Lions, do you like Kenny Vaccaro up in the box creating havoc in the backfield? Or do you want him at the back, making sure these speedy wide receivers of the Detroit Lions don't get over top?
Well, I think Kenny Vaccaro is playing kind of playing center fielder tonight. If you get excuse me, Harvey Beckham. I want to say HB, and then I was like, wait a second, that's right.
HB, whatever his name is, yeah.
If you get Harvey Beckham running a push down the middle of this field, you're gonna have to have somebody back there to cover him. I think Kenny Vaccaro can do that if he's given that kind of head start running, I should say. So I think you have to keep Vaccaro back off the line. I know he's valuable in run stuff, and you don't have to worry about that against this Lions team. So keep Vaccaro back and let him just kind of prowl the center of the field.
On the flip side for the Detroit Lions, talking about their offensive lot, but their defense may have an opportunity today, and Darius Slay has been a big part of that defense. 11 passes deflected and 5 interceptions. Ross Bottom and the New Orleans Saints, they're going to have to throw the ball to win this game, Sonny, and they're going to have to find a way to get it to Michael Thomas. Darius Slay probably going to be matched up on Thomas, their number 1 receiver. How important is Darius Slay to this defense, especially against a Saints team that has the two-headed attack of the rushing with Tevin Coleman and the passing with Ross Bottom?
Well, I think Darius Slay has been one of the premier cornerbacks in NBL for the last couple seasons. Michael Thomas, they're going to move him around. I think Slay's going to follow him throughout the game. If that's the case, you're going to get your shots with Thomas. I think he can still do some stuff downfield. Slay's better at undercutting things, so if you put some balls downfield, I think you still have a shot to maybe attack that matchup.
Game 2 of our doubleheader. Sonny Weaver, who do you like in this game? Guys, get your predictions in the chat. Already seeing Fellowblitz saying 31-20 Saints, sticking with his NFC South as he is he's over in the Panthers in the grid. But a lot of predictions coming in, Sonny. Who do you like in this one? Are the Detroit Lions going to get to yet another NFC Championship game? Or the New Orleans Saints going to surprise, I think, a lot of people and come over with a big win and face off against the New York Giants in the NFC Championship?
I'm actually going to say this game's closer than people predict. I do have the Lions coming out on top of this one. I think the Lions are going to get out to a quick lead, then some late turnovers make this game a little closer than what it appeared. So give me the Lions 24-21 in this one with the late score by the Saints to make it look closer than it really was.
All right, folks, only one way to find out. What an unbelievable game 1 we had. Let's see if game 2 can live up to the hype. Coming up next, we fill out the championship weekend. The doubleheader we'll have on Friday, only 1 spot left. And either the Detroit Lions and the New Orleans Saints, they're going to have that spot. We're going to find out who gets it right now here on NBL Live.
My name is Rex Dixon.
Craig Stein.
Clint from EA Sports.
You're watching NBL.
You're watching the NBL Network. And you're watching the MBLN Network.
Empty backfield for Atkins. He's been dropping back to pass here on 4th down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks who catches it, makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is
touchdown.
dropping back. He's got open over the middle.
Wow. That big playmaker
Look
ability
at
as
him
he
go.
finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another touchdown. What a game 1 we had in our divisional round doubleheader tonight, and it's game 2, and it's a battle between the 14-2 champions of the NFC North, the Detroit Lions. They're taking on the 10-6 champions of the NFC South, the New Orleans Saints. What a battle we had in game 1, and we don't expect any less here in game 2. What a matchup we have. I'm always you. We'll hang out with my man Sonny Weaver as we got some predictions coming in, and it's surprisingly split down the middle. I think a lot of people hoping for a Saints win, a lot of people rooting for the underdog, but Sonny, we know how good this Detroit Lions team is.
Yeah, it's always good to root for the underdog, but when it comes to an offense like Detroit's, you're going to need a little help. Some turnovers, some fumbles. Something's going to have to pop out here to help these Saints. If I'm the Saints, I'm just selling out here and throwing the cards on the table and see where they land.
Well, the Saints are getting an opportunity to get the ball first as Blair takes this out of the end zone, up past the 20, big hit taken at the 21-yard line. That's where we can see the Saints offense, Sonny. We talk about Ross Bonham, the young quarterback. He's had a fantastic year, but Tevin Coleman is a big part of their game plan today. I was talking with owner Eric earlier, and he notices that to win this Detroit Lions, against this Detroit Lions team, it's going to have to control time of possession. A lot of that has to do with Tevin Coleman being effective in the running game.
Time of possession is great, but this Detroit offense can score within, 30, 45, 60 seconds. So, yeah, you don't want to give them extra possessions. But really what this game is going to come down to for me is they're going to have to score early with them, and they're going to have to force some turnovers somehow.
Well, Ross Bonham and the New Orleans Saints come out on the 21-yard line. It is Murray in the backfield. Again, no Tevin Coleman. He got hurt in that last game, and he is not healthy enough to go today, so we're going to have Latavius Murray into the game at halfback. Nothing doing there. Tevin Coleman's a big part of this offense. Latavius Murray performed admirably, though, in his absence. We know how capable of a back Latavius Murray is.
Okay, a little confused. Didn't you just say Tevin Coleman was a big part of this game plan?
He is a big part of the game plan. But he couldn't go to that. I'm sorry I didn't get the injury report. I was too busy screaming in the last game.
All right, just double checking. Just want to make sure I wasn't.
The rushing attack is a big part, okay? Settle down, Sonny. I'll do this bad boy alone. Get out of here as Thomas takes it. I got two commentators. You guys can all hear him here.
Yeah, they're
shout out to Brandon Gladden.
Shout out to Eric for following directions.
Well, Brandon Gladden, little Charles Davis, love those guys. Shout out to BG and CD, my good friend. We'll let them call this game, Sonny. We'll just take a nap.
Oh man, I got some pizza downstairs I could really go for right now.
Good. What kind of pizza did you get?
It's like a deluxe, except no mushrooms, because I'm not a big fan of mushrooms.
The drugs or the food? Good for you.
Neither. I think they're kind of disgusting.
Kids, don't do drugs. 1st and 10 for the Saints as Latavius Murray gets absolutely obliterated. Picked up by Robinson as he put the pigskin on the ground. What a hit on the interior of this Detroit defense. Latavius Murray's wishing that Tevin Coleman was healthy enough to go today.
Yeah, you'd be pointing to that guy. Put him in, coach, because his left tackle there for New Orleans, he just kind of got spin moved right off the snap. And he was standing in the hole waiting for Latavius Murray, and he got lit up.
What a hit by this Lions defense. The Saints up, though, to the 37-yard line. It's going to be Ross Bonham under center. Thomas split to the left. Hansen split to the right. He's got Latavius Murray in the backfield. Hansen coming to motion. It's going to be Bonham dropping back to pass on 2nd and 10. Waiting. Buffering. And he's sacked. Hey, I finally saw it. As Christic with the sack there, going to bring up a 3rd and 15.
3-man rush. You had all day to throw it. Nothing out there, and that is a problem. Yeah, it's got to get rid of that ball. Got to get rid of it.
3rd and 15 now for the New Orleans Saints. Ball on the 32-yard line, 3:51 and counting. Shotgun formation for Ross Bonham. 3 wide receivers out there, 2 to the right side. 1 over to the left, that is Michael Thomas, a big part of this offense. A lot of chemistry with Ross Bonham. Michael Thomas has been a big part in the passing game. As he looks over to the right side, that one is picked all day long. And there's a lot of room on the left side. An early touchdown by the Lions defense. Puts them up 7-0 as LeBounty jumped that one. An easy play. Easy 6 for the Lions defense.
Hey, OSU, you know what you can't do when you play the Lions?
Hey, what can't you do?
You can't let their defense score because you're going to have a hard enough time stopping their offense from scoring.
What you're saying is, are you saying turnovers are one of the keys for the New Orleans Saints?
Well, also, not sure if you knew this, but if you score more points than your opponent, you actually win the game. Now, I'm not sure that JY and the VR team know that, as they do have the Seattle Seahawks playing the winner of this game in the NFC title game.
I think the BR team should just put me and the Oakland Raiders into the Super Bowl. Didn't make the playoffs, but, clearly that doesn't matter.
Well, you and Kyle had the same chances of making the Super Bowl at this point.
Yeah! We're still alive! Thanks, BR team! Unisolated. Why isn't Bomber with his 7 million down internet the one who's streaming? The fun part about that one is we have Eric streaming right now, Shadow, and he's the one who had no power in his dorm room for like 8 hours. It should be great, guys. Good thing we had a great game in game 1. As we've got 1st and 10. The Saints coming out trying to throw a touchdown just to their own team this time. 4 wide receivers, 3 over to the right side, 1 over to the left side. Latavius Murray in the backfield. Ross Bottom drops back here on 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a man deep over the middle, and it is O'Connor, but a great job by the cornerback. That's Darius Slay breaking off his coverage on the fly route on the left side, and comes over, makes a big hit on O'Connor. Incomplete pass, going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
It really was a good job by Slay there to peel off once the ball was in the air, and he came over to help out and broke that one up. It was a good job there by Bottom waiting in the pocket for it to open up.
On Isolate in the chat saying he led that too far. As now they're changing up the play. You're going to put Murray on the right side of Ross Bonham. 2 wide receivers over to the left side, 1 on the right side. Lions defense already getting a touchdown early in this game. 3:25 to go in the first quarter. Lions up 7-0. Their offense hasn't even touched the field. It's a handoff to Latavius Murray trying to get outside, and he does. And the blocking is good. He's got the first down and more. He's going to get up just past the 40-yard line to the 41. A big game for Latavius Murray. First time they've been able to get him outside and actually get him some room to run.
That was a good job there by New Orleans getting that run against that double A gap look. They got to the outside, and Murray beat him around the corner. In New Orleans, we talked about, you said a big part of their game was a running attack. They need to stay on it because obviously Ross Bottom throwing in touchdowns to the Detroit Lions is not going to help them win this game.
That's some solid analysis there from Sonny Weaver. 1st and 10 for the shotgun formation for Ross Bonham. He's got 3 wide receivers out there, and on 1st and 10, a little draw play to Latavius Murray right up the middle. So far, the interior of this Detroit defensive line doing a great job. It's been a problem for them in the past, usually with Gianni Slade dealing with injury problems. So far, though, every time New Orleans tries to run it up the middle, the defensive line collapses and is able to bring him down for only a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, Murray's having more success around the edges. He needs to stick to that. The inside of that interior offensive line doesn't appear to really be doing a good job of holding any of their blocks.
Now 2nd and 8. Shotgun formation for Bonham. Once again, 3 wide receivers out there. He's going to drop backed up pass here on 2nd down. 4-man rush. He tosses this out to the flat to Alvin Kamara. He's got the first down and more. Great use of the running back. Nobody went out to cover the running back. And Alvin Kamara hasn't had a lot of touches in this season. Gets 17 yards out of the backfield. Another first down for the New Orleans Saints.
Nice little change of pace there, getting Kamara out in space, and he does a good job there. And so right now, New Orleans with a good response so far down the field after that pick 6.
Lions showing blitz up the middle, and they do bring 6 on the blitz. It's picked up. He's going to lob this out for Michael Thomas one-on-one. But Darius Slay is just too good. Don't like the throw there, Sonny. You recognize the mid-blitz is coming. You've got 2 flyers. That play call, it seemed like it was just set up for a disaster, set up for just a chuck and pray.
Yeah, it was not the right call. Slay was running down the inside of the hip of Michael Thomas, and that was just a dangerous throw.
Now 2nd and 10 for the New Orleans Saints. It's going to be Bonham dropping back to pass once again. Looking, looks over to the left side. It's complete to Hansen, but Hansen is thoroughly having a nice meeting with Darius Slay, who's made a couple big plays early in this game for this Lions defense. That one, a big hit on Hansen coming across the middle, and now the Saints are forced to deal with yet another 3rd and 10.
Hansen got blown up on that play. I would have liked to see him dump it off to the running back against that cover 4. Instead, they kind of throw into the meat of that defense.
And now a 3rd and 10 for the Saints as they are struggling to really move the ball on 1st and 2nd down. Let's see if they can get a big 3rd down conversion here. 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the right, 1 over the left. Tyler Higbee, the tight end, in the slot on the right side. Latavius Murray into the game at halfback as this play clock down under 4, down to 3. Moving this around. Are they going to get it off? They are not. They're going to take a delay of game. I haven't seen a delay of game here on NBL Live in quite a long time.
Yeah, that was just a bad play. Coach should have called a timeout instead. Now they bump back to 3rd and 15. Getting out of field goal range, too, is good to note there. Now you're at the 45-yard line, making that a difficult kick. And they're basically screwing up their chances here.
Yeah, real tough penalty taken there. Bunch formation 3 to the right, 1 over to the left side. That's Michael Thomas, Latavius Murray in the backfield here on 3rd and 15. Bonham in the pocket, 3-man rush looking. He's going to roll outside of the pocket. Take off, young fella. Get the yards that you can. Nope, he's going to try to throw it. Looks down the sidelines, has a man, but he is out of bounds. They get no yards on the play, and now they get to pump this to the Detroit Lions offense. And there was ever a sign of this game maybe being over in the first quarter. That drive might have done it there because now we get to see the New Orleans defense, and they have been good, but I don't know if they were prepared for what they're about to see from the Detroit Lions.
Couple failures there. First, they had the drag wide open. Not sure they would have got it all back. They would have been in field goal range. The second issue was Bonham could have taken off there, gotten the 5 yards back, and been able to kick a field goal. Instead, he stands there and tries to throw downfield as the pressure is coming. And yeah, that was just bad decision making all around.
So what you're saying is really disastrous from front to back.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, good. That's just what you're looking for when you're trying to beat a team like these Detroit Lions, who have been, even with the injury to Matt Stafford, they still still survived that injury with Brad Kye at quarterback. Now Stafford's back, and now Beckham is back. They're healthy and ready to go. And it's a quick pass over the middle, complete to Rob Gronkowski. 20 yards on the play. Gronk, oddly one of the least talked about guys on this Lions team. Really, the only times we talked about him was he was shirtless on the cover of BTF Detroit Lions over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Madden Bomber League. But he's a big part of this Lions offense, a big target in the middle of the field.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a Gronk sighting there. Not sure how much we'll see of him tonight, but nonetheless making an impact early.
First and 10 for Matt Stafford as he drops back, looks over the middle of the field. It is complete once again. Don't know how much we're going to see of him. Well, we've seen Rob Gronkowski 2 for 2 to start this game. Another first down for the Detroit Lions. They're quickly on the other side of midfield.
So it seems that Rob Gronkowski may be a big part of this game plan, as we're seeing a lot of him here early.
What an interesting analysis there from our own Sonny Weaver there. Always adjusting on the fly, Sonny. I always appreciate that. First and 10 now for the New Orleans Saints. For the Detroit Lions. Saints trying to get something going on defense, trying to stop this potent offense as Stafford dropping back to pass, looks underneath. It is complete. Gets a couple on the play up to the 34-yard line. Montgomery with the catch. He's sort of become the underneath receiver. Harvey Beckham was that underneath receiver for the Lions last year. They've moved him to the outside because of just how speedy he is. He's one of the fastest players in the NBL.
Harvey Beckham makes a lot of guys around him better because you kind of got to focus your whole game plan around him. So Montgomery's had a pretty nice season working opposite of Beckham, and I think he's going to really grow as his years progress in Detroit.
I formation for the Lions, 2nd and 3, handoff on second down, a rare handoff to Wilson. Nothing doing there. Going to bring up a 3rd and 3. This Lions team does not run the ball a lot. They've actually had a little more of a rushing attack this year, Sonny, than years past, but it's going to be pass first for the Lions. They love to air it out. As Bomber would say, when in doubt, air it out.
When in doubt, air it out, but we've seen that catch up to him in the red zone historically, so we'll see how it goes here on short yardage, 3rd and 3. Beckham out to let. Watch him crossing the field.
Yeah, Montgomery out to the right. 2 tight ends, DeGear and Gronkowski on the right side. DeGear on the left side. I'm sorry, I was stunned that they have a tight end named DeGear. I'm just having flashbacks to Madden 17, and I'm very sad. 3rd and 3 for Matt Stafford as he drops back. Pressure gets there, and down goes Stafford. Rankins with the sack. As we've hit the second quarter, they back the Lions up to the 41-yard line. That's going to be a 58-yard field goal attempt if they do go for it. A big sack by the Saints on 3rd down. A rare stop of this Lions offense.
And great job there with the angle route coverage. The linebacker basically met the mesh point of the drag and the angle, and it made Stafford hold the ball for an extra second, which let Rankin get back to him. So good job there by the linebacker.
Yep, this is a 58-yard attempt from the left hash mark. Ball is down. The kick is up. Does it have enough leg? Yeah, it absolutely does. Give him another 3 on the board. 10-0 your score. For a lot of teams, Sonny, that's not an insurmountable lead. That's a lead that everybody sort of feels comfortable with. But against this Lions team, the way the New Orleans offense has looked early, that lead looks a lot bigger than it is.
Well, it looks bigger than it is, but New Orleans... It's a big drive coming out. We kept talking about the running game in pregame. Haven't seen a whole lot of it. Need to see more of it here. Take Ross Bonham's decision-making skills or lack thereof out of this game a little bit by getting the run game going.
Yeah, now a 1st and 10 for the New Orleans Saints from the 29-yard line. We can see Ross Bonham and this New Orleans Saints offense come back out on the field and try to get something going offensively. Pick 6 on their first drive. Second drive, some bad decision-making, a bad penalty. It took him out of field goal range. Handoff on 1st and 10. Straight shed on the left side, and Latavius Murray had no chance. Loss of 1 on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, you're running right at Ziggy Ansah, and that's kind of strange. This 3-3-5 coverage you should be able to run against. And the one place you probably don't want to run against this whole defense is to that left side. So I'd be flipping those plays towards the right.
Now a 2nd and 11 for the New Orleans Saints. Ball on the 28-yard line. Ross Bottom under center. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. He drops back to pass on 2nd and 11. Looking. He completes it underneath to Woods. Trying to get outside. He does. A nice acceleration there from Woods. Gets to the 43-yard line. Only the 3rd completion for Ross Bonham in this game. He find Tyson Woods underneath for a first down.
I'd actually like to correct you. That's his 4th completion.
Third completion to his own team. Better?
Better.
You happy? I'm sure Ross Bonham would love to have that completion to the Honolulu Blue on his highlight reel. He would love to see that one again. 1st and 10 for the New Orleans Saints. Play action pass. Great job on the outside, picking up Ziggy Ansah as he shook the left tackle. Boy, that's going to be a matchup we're going to have to watch all day long as they get the first down. Tyler Higbee with the catch. Ziggy Ansah on the outside. They're having all sorts of trouble. He is just too quick and too athletic for whoever they've got on the left side of that line.
Yeah, I'd consider if my right tackle maybe a little faster, swapping those guys when they come off the field here, because whoever the left tackle is right now, he is not able to hold up against Ziggy.
This is 1st and 10 for the New Orleans Saints. They're just on the other side of the midfield at the 46-yard line. Ross Bonham under center, Latavius Murray in at halfback. He's going to drop back to pass here on 1st and 10. The coverage downfield is good. He finds Hansen underneath at the 41-yard line. Another nice play by Ross Bonham, taking what he can get from this defense. Going to bring up a 2nd and 5.
And they had time to throw there because you saw they went to kind of that 2-4-5 defense. And so you had two more stacked linebackers playing up on the line, and you had Ansah, the other defensive end, moved inside the defensive tackle, and that gave him plenty of time to work because you got Ansah inside of a box. If I'm Detroit, I kind of stay out of that. I want to keep Ansah outside against that left tackle.
You've seen the mismatch. Keep that mismatch out there. It's on 2nd and 5. Counterplay from Murray. Great penetration from the right side. Great pursuit behind Latavius Murray as they can't get this run game going. Christic with the tackle, and another 3rd down here. They're on the 42-yard line. They're just probably on the edge of field goal range. So if you're New Orleans, you don't want to see another repeat of that delay of game on the last drive.
Delay of game or a sack here is brutal. You got to come away with points here. So I don't like to get too conservative, but even a run of some sort for 3 or 4 yards kind of solidifies that you're going to get a field goal here.
3rd and 7, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 over to the right side. O'Connor, the tight end, down on the right side of that formation. Bonham dropping back to pass here on 3rd and 7. Looks over to the left side for Latavius Murray, and a nice catch in front of the 2 defenders over there, both in a drop coverage, pulled back by that little up and out. And a first down. LeBounty with the tackle. Nice job there by Ross Bonham. Made a throw where only his running back could catch it.
Only his running back could catch it. Good coverage there, actually, that closed in on that late, but Murray able to pull that in traffic.
1st and 10, 3 wide receivers over to the left side, 1 wide receiver over to the right. That's Michael Thomas. Haven't heard from him today. He is a big part of this offense. 1st and 10. Blitz coming up the middle. It's picked up. It's a quick out route to Michael Thomas, who makes the catch at the 23-yard line. Good changeup by Ross Bonham, switching that to an out route on the right side. Saw the blitz coming up the middle and delivered an accurate throw to Michael Thomas.
Yeah, Michael Thomas there, Darius Slay following him outside, but you still get Darius Slay in one-on-one coverage in space, and that's still a good matchup. Obviously, Darius Slay very good, but Thomas can still do work in space, so I like that matchup when you get those one-on-one coverage to take some shots, maybe looking for some more in-breaking routes, some slants and things along those lines. 1st
and 10 for the New Orleans Saints, ball on the 23-yard line. It's going to be Ross Bonham dropping back to pass again on 1st and 10. Looks over the middle of the field, right over the head of the user. O'Connor catches it and fumbles it at the 2-yard line. It's picked up, and he's taken down. Darius Slay dangerously goes back in the end zone, gets out on the 1-yard line. Oh, boy, disaster for the New Orleans Saints.
Possibly ball game?
Sonny, have you seen any good movies recently? Did I do that right?
Yeah, that's going to be a rough one because unfortunately I haven't. But, hey, you play for the safety here. Maybe you can get a safety here, make it a one-score game, right? Maybe.
I have a feeling the Detroit Lions are not going to be running the ball here. 1st and 10. Ball on the 1-yard line. They got to go 99 yards. That's not a big deal, though, for this Detroit Lions team. 2:32 to go in the first half. Deck is saying, come on, fellas, we still in the first half. Hey, I'm just saying, this Saints team has looked lost. Blitz up the middle. Down goes Stafford. They play for the safety, and they get it. 10-2 your score. This is what they're playing all along, Sonny. We are idiots. This is what Eric and the New Orleans Saints were going for. Fumble it on the 1-yard line. Get your 2 points. Cut it back to a 1-score game. Brilliant.
Classic, playing for the safety. Atro's just getting ready to criticize this defense. They're playing off-man coverage against Matthew Stafford, but Stafford, instead of going for the quick check route underneath, is actually looking 5-10 yards downfield, and he just didn't have time to throw that with the man coming right up the middle. So an unusual miscue by Matthew Stafford there. You'd think he'd go for that quick check down.
Unisolated saying he hesitated slightly on that slant, and that's what gave him enough time. Brought the blitz up the middle. Saints going for that safety the entire way. And they get their 2 points, 10-2 your score. They get the ball back here, 2:19 to go. They got to find a way to get in the end zone if they can. It's a whole new ball game. 1st and 10 for Ross Bonham in the shotgun. Once again, 3 wide receivers out there. He drops back to pass on 1st and 10. Looking, boy, he wanted that crossing out real bad, but patiently waits for Hansen to get open. Hansen does, 45-yard line, 1st down. Saints, Bonham 9 of 14. That one pick, that was a bad read, but he's been pretty solid so far.
He's not been bad, so we're about to ding on this 2-minute warning here. And New Orleans on the 45-yard line, only down 1 score. All things considered, with all the crazy stuff that's happened, you've got to feel pretty good if you're New Orleans.
Losing the turnover battle by 2, one of those going to the house, and yet you're down 1 score with the ball, you got to feel real good. Is a safety technically a turnover, Sonny?
Yes.
It is, right? Okay, so they're losing it by 1. 1st and 10. Play action pass for Ross Bonham, rolling out to the left side. Looking. Has a man. Michael Thomas just standing in the gap in the zone and gets out of bounds at the 24-yard line. The Saints another 1st down. Another nice throw by Ross Bonham, finding Michael Thomas standing all alone. The Lions just sort of forgot about him.
Well, what's interesting about that is the crosser coming from the other side because they waited so long. Slay had to actually stay back to protect on that crosser, and that left that gap there for Thomas to sit down in.
1st and 10. Look for the slot slant from Hansen as they switch to a 1-high safety, so probably not as much anymore. 1st and 10. And that recognizing that is Ross Bonham as he splits both wide receivers, putting 1 on each side. Toss play to Latavius Murray. Ooh, Murray got caught right there. Indecisive. Do I cut it inside? Do I try to go outside? He got caught in the middle, and he loses 2 yards on the play.
Murray let the defender make the call for him. The defender actually jumped outside and declared a little early. If Murray would have waited, he could have gone inside. He had 2 blockers to the inside, but that defender jumped outside, and he didn't react. And so the defense gets away with 1 declaring early, and so Latavius Murray goes down.
Now a 2nd and 12 for the New Orleans Saints. Again, folks, we appreciate all of you tuning in. Now NBL Live broadcast number 186. We're going to have those AFC and NFC Championship game filled out after this game. We've already got 1 half filled out. The AFC Championship will be the Chargers, undefeated still in that wild first part of this doubleheader. They'll take on the Cleveland Browns in the AFC title game as another bad penalty, a false start. What is happening? New Orleans just seems confused as to what they're supposed to do offensively pre-snap. Once they snap the ball, though, they're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, and so 2 turnovers, 2 delay of game penalties inside Detroit's territory.
That technically wasn't a delay game. That was a false start.
Oh, okay.
The right guard moved with 1 second to go on the clock.
Delay of game.
Yeah, 2nd and 17 for Ross Bonham. As he drops back, he'll toss this underneath to Michael Thomas. Boy, did you see how big that hit stick he was going for? The Lions looking for that fumble once again on Michael Thomas. Got nothing but air, though, as Thomas gets up to the 15-yard line and going to bring up a 3rd and 2.
The safety blew that one right there. He was going for the big highlight reel hit, and instead he whiffs, and he basically gives Thomas another 5 or 6 yards on that play. You got to wrap up at this point. You don't need to go for that hit.
Yeah, no. He was going for the Sports Center hit, wanted to be right there. Unfortunately, Sports Center hasn't covered the NBL recently. I'm a little disappointed at ESPN. Come on. You know you want to cover us. 3rd and 2 for the New Orleans Saints. I formation. Latavius Murray at the top of that I. He's got 2 wide receivers out there, 1 to each side. O'Connor, the tight end, on the left side of that formation here. 3rd and 2, 1:04 to go. As Bonham changing up the play, they're going to hand it off to Latavius Murray right up the middle. He's got the 1st down. The blocking was great. They get the 1st down here. Under a minute to go. New Orleans using up as much clock as they can, but they know they need 7. Although I do kind of want them to kick a field goal, Sonny, if only to see the 10-5 score line.
Well, obviously you have 10-5 squares on the
Congratulations.
NFC Divisional Playoff square game.
I do, 100%. I don't know why I always get stuck with that, but 1st and 10 for the New Orleans Saints. Thomas coming in motion from the right side. It's going to be Bonham dropping back to pass. Looked up in the middle of the field. That one looking for Tyler Higbee as we find out Hansen, a big part of this passing offense, broken foot, will not return. Probably going to be out for the remainder of the playoffs if they do get past this round. That's a loss for this New Orleans Saints team as he's one of their more reliable speed receivers underneath.
Well, and that last play is a failure by Bonham to actually read the defense. It was a spot concept. You had the Z receiver dropping and sitting down, but that corner route was wide open. Had he waited another second, he would have been looking at a touchdown. Instead, they're looking at 2nd and 10 from the 12-yard line.
Yeah, now 2nd and 10 for the New Orleans Saints. 34 seconds to go. Bonham under center. He drops back on 2nd down. He's going to take a sack as that was Ziggy Ansah once again. He is eating up the left side of that line. Now a 3rd and 18. Sonny, if you're New Orleans, you got to be smart. Hand the ball off, cover up, take a knee if you have to. Just don't turn the ball over here.
Yeah, this is classic screen territory, I think. And so be careful, though. Detroit's going to be expecting that. Last play, Ziggy Ansah actually splits the left tackle, and he had help from Latavius Murray there. So kind of embarrassing right now for them.
3rd and 18. Bonham rolling out. He's looking for the corner route. Yeah. That's all I got. That was just a carbon copy of the first interception. Corner route, locked in on the corner route, and the bracket coverage over there picks it off, and New Orleans gets no points in the drive.
Somebody needs to tell Ross Bonham it is okay to not throw the ball. You can take off and run. You can throw it out of bounds. All those things are acceptable.
Drop kick through the uprights. Well, 10-2 your score. 22 seconds and 2 timeouts. Detroit could certainly get points as they throw a little wide receiver screen to the outside. He goes out of bounds at the 22-yard line. New Orleans has done part 1 of what they've needed to do, which is really control time of possession, keep the ball in their hands, and don't give it to the Detroit Lions offense to get going. Unfortunately, Ross Bonham's 2 interceptions and a fumble inside the 5-yard line have doomed this team, yet somehow they're still in this game, only down 10-2.
A little bit surprising here. Surprised actually that wide receiver screen didn't go out to Harvey Beckham.
Yeah.
You'd think
HB
that would
1899, throw it to
short time.
Yeah, 2nd and 13 for the Detroit Lions. I formation. As he's going to move Rob Gronkowski over to the left side of that formation. Now and on 2nd and 3, it's going to be a handoff up the middle. He's got the first down to the 28-yard line. Detroit's going to use their 2nd timeout. 14 seconds to go. Sonny, I've seen the story way too much. This is where the Lions can really explode, at least get a field goal on this drive.
Well, I think what I'm doing is I'm playing 3 high safety look here. And I'm backing them up to about the 50-yard line. And I'm going to let them basically complete anything in front of the 50 because I know they can't complete a 60-plus yard field goal.
Well, and also you got to make sure you wrap up because they do have a lot of weapons in the passing game, especially Harvey Beckham, that once the ball is in his hands, he can do damage. Now 1st and 10 for the Lions, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, Beckham alone to the left side. He's got 1 in the backfield here on 1st down. Decadog saying, I'm sending a corner blitz. Look for Stafford to roll out here. 1st and 10, 28-yard line. As he now flips the play and puts 2 wide receivers over to the left side of that formation, 1 over to the right, and Rob Gronkowski. Play action pass for Matt Stafford. Rush is picked up. He looks over the middle of the field. It is complete to the 48-yard line. 8 seconds to go, but Detroit now out of timeout. Sonny, this is the perfect time for New Orleans to really shade to the inside, make sure they don't complete anything near the sidelines.
Yeah, that's very interesting. They kind of set their safeties right back on the 50, like I had said, and so this puts
they might
in
be
a good
listening
position
to you.
here. I'm backing up. You know, I'm okay with pressing the corners here and getting in a trail technique. As long as you keep safeties over top, I may consider pressing here, getting a trail technique, and making sure everything stays inside the field of play.
Well, Rob Gronkowski alone on the right side, 3 wide receivers over to the left side, and Wilson in at halfback here on 1st and 10. It is Matt Stafford dropping back to pass on 1st down. The man coverage good. He's going to take a shot to the left side. It is over the heads of everybody. 2 seconds to go. Good defense by the New Orleans Saints. Now you've got to just expect the Saints back everyone off. Just play defense over the top and don't let any miracle touchdowns. And go into the half, down 10-2, the score that I think everybody expected this game would be.
Yeah, at this point, you're in the back of the end zone right now. Keeping everything in front of you. I even make sure I tell my guys to conservatively swat the ball. Don't go for the pick. Bad things happen when you go for the pick. Swat the ball down to the ground and just play this one nice and easy.
Stafford comes out, 2 wide receivers over to the left side, 2 tight ends on the line, 1 on each side. Wilson in at halfback. Stafford just going to run a little draw play here. Wilson is taken down to the 47-yard line. We're going to go to halftime, 10-2 your score. If you're a Saints fan, you got to feel, a little concerned, a lot concerned because of Ross Bonham's play mostly. But you still got to feel pretty good considering how bad your team has played and how much they're still in this ballgame.
All things considered, it's not horrible, but it's probably going to take a turnover of some sort to try to change the tide of this game. I feel like even though the score is 10-2, Detroit's dominating this game. So if I'm New Orleans, I'm sending blitzes. I'm jumping routes. I'm trying to get an interception or a fumble or something here to really put me back in this game and give me a chance to swing momentum and win this thing.
Are you at all concerned if you're the Detroit Lions? Is there anything that tells you to be concerned? You had only 62 yards of offense. A lot of that because New Orleans had the ball most of the time.
Yeah, they just haven't had many chances yet.
Man coming in motion here on 1st and 10. Is that PAFK quick? And jump by Marshawn Lattimore! What a pick by Lattimore! He was all sorts of open, and Lattimore comes underneath and makes a great play. Stays down though. Hope he's okay. What a pick by Lattimore over the middle of the field.
Yeah, Marshawn Lattimore, one of the best young corners in NBL. Not so young anymore, a couple seasons in, but nonetheless, this guy can get after it. Now, if you're New Orleans, I'm not saying play conservatively, but
get points.
Really think about these throws you're about to make because, frankly, an interception here will just be a backbreaker.
How about a sack as Reeves Maven gets in the backfield and brings him down for a 9-yard loss back to the 43-yard line. 3rd sack for Detroit. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 19.
So, not to toot the Tennessee Titans' own horn earlier in this year,
boy.
but
hold on. We got to wait. The Sonny Weaver self-pat on the back. All right, go ahead.
Yep. So when we played Detroit earlier in this year, we saw a lot of the same 3-3-5 defense here that you've seen from Detroit today. Even on 1st down, got to run against that box. It's a weak box. You got to get outside. You can really shred them here. Instead, they're throwing against it. They need to recognize that early on.
Rolling out to the right side is Ross Bonham here on 2nd and 19.
Don't do it, Ross.
I mean, he did. He tried to throw the ball. It went about 4 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 19 now. New Orleans picked this ball off, inside the 35-yard line, and they're outside of field goal range. It's a 60-yard attempt from here as they've gone backwards on this drive. 3rd and 19. Detroit dropping 3 back in coverage. 3rd and 19. Ross Bonham looking to pass once again, rolling to the outside. Take what you can get, fella, and he steps out of bounds at the 36-yard line. So Bonham finally doesn't just chuck it as Marshawn Lattimore, it looks like he's going to be fine. 4th and 12, though, if you're New Orleans, you're happy you have an attempt to get points. It's something you haven't been able to do all day.
Right, I'm okay with that play right there. If you're New Orleans, if you have done that a couple times earlier today, you may have a shot to be winning this game right now.
The kick is up, and it is good. There's my 10-5. Unfortunately, I had that as a 2nd quarter square, so... easy come, easy go. But 10-5 your score. New Orleans with a big pick on the 1st drive of this game. I've been impressed, though, even though there hasn't been a whole lot of offensive drives for the Detroit Lions, Sonny. The New Orleans defense, they've played pretty well, really keeping everything in front of them and not letting any big plays over the top.
And now this is where we're going to find out a lot about this Detroit Lions team. The offense hasn't really gotten going yet. They need to put together a long, methodical drive here, a Detroit Lions type of offensive drive. I'm not looking for big plays right now. I'm looking for those 10 to 15-yard routes here to slowly pick them apart down the field.
Colts are saying only a 5-point game. Saints need to find themselves here. Yeah, another defensive stop would be huge. Points at a premium in this game, folks. Here, 2nd part of our doubleheader divisional round action. Looking to play. The winner of this game plays the New York Giants. Not the Seattle Seahawks, as our graphics would say. Loss of 2 on the play there. Going to bring up a 2nd and 12. They're looking to play the New York Giants in the NFC Championship game. Sonny, much like the other game we saw, for me at least, the Detroit Lions, I think, match up really well with this Giants team. I know their defense played well. I like this New Orleans Saints team, even though it's a rough start here. I think if they're able to overcome the Detroit Lions in this game, I like them over the New York Giants.
I don't. I think the Giants are better than the Saints. I think Lions are better than the Giants. We'll see how this one works out, though.
A play action pass rush coming, picked up nicely. Stafford, little sidestep and throws it right over the head of the middle linebacker. It is complete. Down to the 43-yard line. I just think if you beat the Detroit Lions in Detroit, it just does something for your confidence. That's why I would like that. I love that Giants defense, though. I think they're very good. As on 1st and 10, rush coming out the middle. Looks like they're set up a screen to the outside. Harris needs to make the tackle, and he does. I think that was more Wilson just sort of tripped over him, though. Wouldn't call it a great
play by Harris to fall down on the ground and make Wilson trip over top of you. Very heads-up play after not seeing the pass right over your head the play before.
I think that we call that in grade school the reverse tabletop. Like, you just needed one person to push him over top of the guy laying on the ground. It'd be hilarious. 2nd and 11 for Matt Stafford as they spread it out. 5 wide receivers out there. Rob Gronkowski in the slot. They're showing man coverage from the Saints. This is where the Lions can beat you real good. Ball on the 42-yard line. 2nd and 11. Stafford dropping back to pass. 4-man rush from the New Orleans Saints. Little out route to the left side. And he didn't get his feet in bounds, they're saying. 3rd and 11. Looking for Harvey Beckham. But Beckham didn't drag that other toe. And now a big opportunity here for the Saints to get off the field.
Harvey Beckham kind of been non-existent tonight. A little bit surprising. Look for him here on this play. Possibly ace post, maybe double post.
Sure. The skinny post. Well, they do come out in that ace formation. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. It's a play action pass, though. Stafford rolling out to the right side. It has that crosser wide open. It's HB18 who gets clipped and goes down to the 38-yard line. You knew it was going to be something like that, though. The Saints, only 2 routes. Just nobody there to cover HB18 coming over from the left side.
Yeah, I'm not sure how with only 2 routes running out there, you don't cover Harvey Beckham. He just sits out there wide open. Somebody needs to pick him up.
Yeah, solid strategy there to beat the Detroit Lions. Don't let Harvey Beckham catch the ball. Just saying. Just throwing it out there. Bunch formation 3 to the right. Harvey Beckham alone to the left side. Stafford dropping back to pass on 1st and 10. Oh, and Beckham does what Beckham does. Makes a catch, spin move, but Williams stays home, is able to bring him down at the 8-yard line, and Beckham is down, clutching that arm. He had a shoulder problem earlier in the season, Sonny, and that could be a big loss for the Detroit Lions if he's out for any extended period of time.
Yeah, even looking beyond that game or this game, that could be huge for Detroit's Super Bowl title dreams and hopes here if Harvey Beckham's going to miss any sort of time.
Shotgun formation for Matt Stafford. 4 wide receivers out there. He drops back to pass here on 1st and goal. Stepping up in the pocket. And down goes Stafford. A nice sack there by Adams. Good coverage in the back of the end zone. And Stafford loses a couple on the play back to the 10-yard line. Going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Yeah, that was just coverage sack right there. There was nowhere for Matthew Stafford to throw. And he's not the most mobile guy either, so it's not like he's going to take off there.
2nd and goal for the Lions. Ball on the 10-yard line. Big play for the Saints if they're able to hold the Lions at 3 and keep this a 1-score game. 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the right, 1 to the left. A man going in motion. Looks like they're setting up that cross screen the other way. The blocking is there, but there's still one more guy out there. 4 blockers out there, only 2 rushers. Is Harvey Beckham, broken finger. Will not return to this game, Sonny. Wide receiver, I think he's probably back for the next game, though. I don't think he misses the AFC Championship or the NFC Championship.
Yeah, I think this may only end up being a 1-game issue.
He will miss the AFC Championship game. He won't be in that game.
Yeah,
I'm just slowly losing my mind. 3rd doubleheader in a row. 6 games, 2 days. I need a nap. I'm real happy we have no games tomorrow, because at that point I might be just rambling incoherently. Unlike usually when I'm rambling slightly coherently. A 3rd and goal now for the Lions. Big opportunity for the New Orleans Saints defense. Need a stop. Man coming in motion. This looks like they're setting up the Steelers halfback screen over to the right side. He's standing there all alone. You know it's going to be the Lions. Lattimore needs to make a tackle. And Marshawn Lattimore, another big defensive play. He makes the stop, and the Saints once again. Good scouting, great play. Individual effort by Marshawn Lattimore holding the Detroit Lions to a field goal attempt.
Interesting. Saw an injury notice there. Curious who it may be.
It's up and good. 13-5. Folks, if you predicted a 13-5 game, you're a liar. You didn't predict that. You're a liar, and lying is bad. Detroit on top. New Orleans going to get the ball back here. 2:10 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Blair going to take this about 2 yards deep. He's up past the 5 to the 10 to the 15, up past the 20-yard line. It takes a big hit just shy of the 25 to the 24 as it was Ansel, the right outside linebacker. Bruce Rip should be fine. You know he's not going to miss any more of this game. Saints offense coming back out on the field, Sonny. It has been a struggle for Ross Bonham today. Takes a couple bad sacks, a couple bad penalties, and 2 really bad throws, but they're still in this ballgame.
Yeah, they are 1 score away from being in this thing. They got to put it together here. No more waiting.
Ross Bonham drops back to pass on 1st and 10, rolls out to the left side, being chased by Ziggy Ansah, and just chucks that out of bounds. You said you see Ziggy Ansah pursuing you as a quarterback. You chuck that ball as fast as you can into the 3rd row. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the New Orleans Saints.
New Orleans still not realizing they're getting that 3-3-5 formation on every first down at this point. Lions are playing pass all the way. You've got a chance, establish the run, plenty of time left. Instead, you're wasting way too much time trying to throw against this.
Yeah, now they come out in that heavy box. 7 in the box here for the Detroit Lions. 2 wide receivers out there. Latavius Murray in at halfback. Ross Bonham under center on 2nd and 10. They're going to drop back to pass. He has the tight end is just all alone. Just running. Like, just nobody around him. And Ross Bonham was locked in on someone else, I guess. And takes a bad sack. Going to bring up a 3rd and 17.
Yeah, they just didn't really feel like throwing it to the tight end, I guess.
Maybe he did something. Maybe they're offended by him. 3rd and 17 now, as it looks like they're setting up this little bubble screen to Latavius Murray. Great pursuit there by the Detroit Lions. So New Orleans, an opportunity to stay in this game. They go 3 plays, all 3 very, very bad, and they're going to punt the ball away. And folks, the Saints have stayed in this game more than I thought they would when they went down early. But a minute 24 to go, and Detroit's getting the ball back. This is, I guess, if there was a warning system for the New Orleans Saints, Sonny, it would be at red and it would be blaring.
Yeah, that's they got to do something right now. I'd just like to point out on that last play, the inside receiver there, I'm not even sure who it was, but he should be cut. He should be cut for that block attempt because he just ran out and ran right past the cornerback. That's why that tackle was so easy to make. That is not the effort you need to knock off the Detroit Lions.
Well, let's see if maybe Marshawn Lattimore can make a play for the New Orleans defense, who has played very well against an unbelievably potent Detroit Lions team. They've kept everything in front of them. It got a couple big stops, and Lattimore has been a big part of that as WWE 3333 saying hello. Appreciate you tuning into MBL Live here, broadcast number 185. Big play there. Tavon Wilson not having a great game running the ball. They've done better running the ball, usually with P.J. Albury, but Wilson into the game now, and he has not been able to establish that run game.
Good job by Anzalon coming back there from injury. He gets back on the field and makes a big play on his first play back from injury.
And this Detroit Lions team playing without Rick Wagner, who went down early in the season, out for 15 weeks. So backup, one of their best offensive linemen, just was dealing with injury problems. They've had a lot of injuries this year, more than we usually see from the Detroit Lions. This throw over the middle, it's complete. A good catch there over at the 49-yard line. Stafford getting into a little rhythm here. He's thrown the 1 interception, but he finds Doug Baldwin coming over, a veteran presence on this receiving corps, Sonny. And they love what he brings to these younger wide receivers, a veteran presence, and he can still make the big catch.
Yeah, he can still do some things for him, and big reception there to move the chains and keep this drive going.
Rob Gronkowski, upcoming free agent. He's making $22.6 million this year. As the handoff over the right side gets a little bit, going to get up to the 47-yard line. That's probably going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 13-5 your score. Gotta love saying that. Yeah, Rob Gronkowski, $22.67 million. He's making $5 million or more than Matt Stafford.
I know that I would be paying Rob Gronkowski more than Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, but it's just interesting. Just pointing it out. Golden Tate also, by the way, I thought Golden Tate wasn't on this team. He's still there somewhere. He's making $10.8 million. I haven't really seen him on the field today. They've got a great young wide receiver core. Harvey Beckham, Kendrick Montgomery. They love Kalen Cupper. I don't believe he's playing today, though. He went down in the last couple weeks of the season at tight end. So Rob Gronkowski just seeing a little more action, a couple more targets. Now 2nd and 5 for the Detroit Lions. Ball on the 47-yard line. Saints defense need to come up with another big stop. Matt Stafford under center. He's got 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. He drops back to pass here on 2nd and 5. Looks underneath. Dangerous throw. A lot of Saints around there. Incomplete pass, though. Nobody able to make a play on that one. And now another 3rd down. I don't think I've seen the Detroit Lions face this many 3rd downs in a while, Sonny.
They're not clicking tonight. I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe the lack of Harvey Beckham's hurt them recently. Obviously, didn't go down to the last drive, but he's been shut out most of the game. I feel like Marshawn Lattimore's done a good job on him throughout the game. He had that one big catch on that C route earlier in the game, but that didn't result in the touchdown you would expect it to normally to. So very interesting what's going to happen here.
Yeah, shotgun formation. Bunch formation, 3 to the right, 1 over to the left side. That is Montgomery alone on the left side. 3rd and 5. Stafford looks over the middle of the field, looking for Gronk. And Gronk makes yet another big catch for this defense. You know they're looking for him in this game. They find him once again at the 25-yard line. His 3rd catch, all 3 huge for the Detroit Lions.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down.
Yeah,
Roger
Rutrow.
Gronkowski.
If you're a Saints fan, your Rutrow times, they're very big right now.
Yeah, but the one thing you have going for you is Detroit has struggled historically down in the red zone. So 3 here is still not a backbreaker, but at some point you're going to have to score a touchdown, I would assume.
You would hope. 13-5 your score. I think New Orleans needs a turnover here because if Detroit uses the clock wisely, is able to find any sort of points here. 2-score game. The Saints haven't been able to score at all in this one. They've had the safety off of the fumble, and then that 1 field goal they were able to get after the interception. But if they haven't had great field position or their defense hasn't made a play, Sonny, when they've had to make drives, Bottom's been able to take them usually to about midfield, maybe a little past, and then nothing doing once they get past midfield. Lum9026 now following here on Twitch. Appreciate the follow, Lum. 1st and 10 for the Lions. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Matt Stafford. Wilson in the backfield at halfback. 5:18 to go. They set up that little halfback wham. Wilson right up the middle. Makes a juke move. Gets up near the 1st down marker to the 14-yard line. They're going to give him the 1st down as the Lions, they're inside the red zone. This is where the Saints, though, they've seen the Lions struggle, Sonny, inside the red zone. They can look to capitalize, maybe get a turnover here.
And they're going to need something. If New Orleans, I'm telling my guys, go after everything. Go for every big hit. Go for every interception. You just have to get after it right now.
How about that one? Look at Campbell, right? Didn't even let Matt Stafford hand the ball off. Lucky that wasn't a fumble. That's where you usually see some fumbles there in the exchange. I don't know if that was supposed to be a handoff, and a great blitz there by Campbell over the right side.
Yeah, you had 9 guys in the box there. Very impressive that Matthew Stafford didn't even check out of that with 9 guys up in that box.
Now 2nd and 15 as we're nearing the 4:30 mark. Again, folks, if it's your first time joining us here on NBL Live, first of all, we certainly appreciate you spending your evening with us. NBL rules state you can't kill the clock until under the 2-minute warning. That's why you're not seeing the 2 clock function on. As Matt Stafford drops back to pass here on 2nd and 15. Rush gets there, and down goes Stafford. Back-to-back sacks as Jordan's able to get in the backfield and bring down Matt Stafford. Now a 3rd and 19. If I'm Detroit, you're up 8. Run the ball. Take a knee. Make sure you get your 3 points and put this to a 2-score game.
Yeah, if you're Detroit, you definitely just have to set up. Now, with as crazy as this game's been, though, blocked field goal for touchdown?
It may be the only way the New Orleans Saints find the end zone. They haven't been able to do it offensively. They haven't been able to do it at all, period. But the defense has played well. 3rd and 19. Looks like they set that little orbit bubble screen to the right side, and it is complete. Montgomery can't get around the outside, though, taken down to the 21-yard line. Good sure tackle by Marshawn Lattimore. Now, 4th and 16. You got to expect New Orleans to be coming after this kick and trying to get a big block. How good has Lattimore been? How impressed are you by this no longer young player, but still one of the younger players here in the NBL?
Marshawn Lattimore's had a great game. One of the reasons they're still in this game, that kick's definitely not even close to blocked.
Not even a look.
No one is going to look at this New Orleans defense when it's all said and done and put this loss on them. This is going to fall solely on the shoulders of the offense that apparently can't do anything correct.
And maybe this team looked like a team that really missed Tevin Coleman in this game. They couldn't get a run game going with Latavius Murray. And because of that, they put it on the shoulders of Ross Bonham, and Bonham's decision-making was not at its peak right now. The Saints going to need a quick score here, 3:30 to go in this game. Stick with us to the end of the game, folks. We'll have our NBL Live player of the game selection. We'll also let you know we'll have those 2 AFC Championship games. If you're wondering when those are going to be, it's going to be Friday night. We're still setting the time. It may be 7 o'clock Eastern time starting. It may be 8 o'clock Eastern time yet. We haven't set it yet with the players themselves. Once it gets filled out, we'll talk with them. Follow us on Twitter at Bomber League. That's where we announce all of our game times. You can just hit that follow button, that subscribe button. You'll know each and every time we go live here on the NBL Network. What a job by the Saints defense, though, holding Detroit to only 177 yards of offense so far. As Ross Bottom dropping back to pass here on 1st and 10, it looks over to Michael Thomas. Hey, it's complete to the 42-yard line. He waited a long time to throw that ball, though. Michael Thomas ran that slant all the way from the left side, but it is complete, and it's a 1st down for the Saints.
New Orleans, I'm not sure New Orleans realize they're down 2 scores. They have got to kind of hurry this thing up.
A 1st and 10 shotgun formation for Ross Bottom. 3 wide receivers out there, 3-10 and counting. He drops back to pass on 1st and 10. And he is going to have an intimate meeting with Gianni Slade. That is a large human being. That is, I think he's moved from human being to vehicle.
He literally looks like one of those orc characters from like World of Warcraft. Like,
Oh,
he
absolutely.
does not look like a normal person.
He face painted. He's got like a tiki torch. He would absolutely obliterate you. 2nd and 17 for the New Orleans Saints. As Ross Bottom dropping back once again, running those slants once again, beat wide open just the entire time, but waits long enough, and Ziggy Ansah is able to get his 2nd sack of the day. On the flip side, the Lions defense has played fantastic. Ziggy Ansah, a big part of that.
So when the Saints lose this game, the coaching staff's going to review this tape, and they're going to realize that they basically abandoned the run for no reason at some point in this game. And they're going to be kicking themselves because really this Detroit Lions ran a lot of this 3-3-5 the whole day, and, you know, in the end, you got to run against that.
Well, they find Michael Thomas on the corner route, 4th and 6. They're going to have to go for it, 4-down territory, 2:21 and counting. Yeah, Thomas, though, 6 catches, 100 yards. He's been a bright spot of this New Orleans Saints offense. A team, it's just, it seems like they're just on the cusp of being able to compete for those NFC championships. Ross Bottom is a good quarterback at times. They've got a good wide receiver core. It just seems like sort of the play calling isn't there. Maybe needs some changes on the coaching staff. 4th and 6 for Bottom in the shotgun, 2:04 and counting. He drops back, looks to the flat. It is O'Connor, all sorts of open. He goes out of bounds as we've hit the 2 warning at the 37-yard line. Any thoughts here of just kicking the field goal? Like, just kick it?
No, because I have all 3 of my timeouts. So
Okay.
At this point, you want the touchdown, and then you want to try to get a stop and use your timeouts. So, yeah, we're going.
Well, once again, the Saints on the other side of the 50. They've been there almost all game. They just haven't been able to get points. 1st and 10, Bottom looks over to the left side. It is complete to Hose.
Where them hoes at?
I got Hose in different area codes. 1st down for the Saints, down inside the 20-yard line. Is Hosey? Hoes? Marion Hosa? Is Marion Hosa out on the... Is that what it is? I see 3 you saying game's way closer than expected. I think everybody expected Steelers-Chargers to be a close game. This one, I think a lot of people thought it'd be closer than some people were predicting, as this throw to the flat is complete to... Why not? Let's throw it to Hose again. Use those Hose. You get up to the 8-yard line.
Yeah, he's playing great right now. He's trucking everybody. Keep getting on the ball out in the perimeter.
Kyle in chat, OSU has Hose. Absolutely. I bought a house. There's a garden hose out back. 1st and goal. Hand off to Latavius Murray, and nothing doing. They finally run the ball. 1:11 to go. They're running out of time. They use a timeout after running the ball on 1st down and losing a yard.
And that was the exact wrong call there. You have to hurry up.
Now you got to kick the field goal.
There. Because if you don't get an onside kick now you basically have lost the game. So at that point, you're in nothing but hurry-up offense, keeping all timeouts so you still have a chance to get the ball back.
Now a 2nd and goal for the New Orleans Saints, and it's going to be Ross Bottom under center, Thomas to the left, Woods to the right. Hose at fullback. He's still there. He's been a big part of this offense here on this drive. 2nd and goal. Dropping back, looking for anyone. Looking, taking a sack and staying in bounds. KGH with the sack. Sonny, if there was a wrong choice on that play, that was it.
A lot of wrong choices. Hose was open early. They took the sack. Now they're letting the clock run. Well, you already committed to using timeouts, and so that doesn't matter. So what are we doing? What are we doing here?
It's a good question. I think that question could be asked to the New Orleans Saints a lot today. What's going on? What's going on, guys? What's happening? And now 3rd and goal. Saints trying to stay alive here. 2 wide receivers over the left side. Ross Bottom dropping back to pass on 3rd and goal. Looking, rolling. Oh, Lord. Throwing to... well, he was about 4 yards out of bounds trying to catch that ball. So not great. 37 seconds to go. I think the Saints are going to have to settle for a field goal here.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah. Field goal here is not over, but we're going to be dependent on the all crazy... Oh, shoot.
He's pulled the plug! Let's see if this resolves itself.
Iced himself.
No, it didn't resolve itself. That's 2 games now. 2 games in the playoffs. The old jiggle of the cord. He would never do that. Absolutely. Well, that one was pretty much over, though. There was a chance, barring a miracle, that the Saints could have come back in that one, but that one is pretty much over, Sonny. The Lions, I think they're going to mock 37. I don't know what they're going to do to finish that one. They're going to have to mock something, but the Lions pretty much, for all intents and purposes, they get to the NFC Championship game to face off against the New York Giants. Not a pretty performance from the Lions, but they did what they had to do.
Yeah, that interesting game. I talked about before the game that I would have taken the Lions over the Giants. I'm kind of liking those Giants now after seeing that game.
Well, the way the Giants defense played in the wild card round, that was certainly impressive. Let's pick a player of the game for all but 37 seconds of that game, Sonny. Broadcast number 186 here of MBL Live. From the Detroit Lions, the names that come up to me, the one name that I keep going back to, Darius Slay was very strong defensively, and I know he was one of our players to watch in the game. He made a couple big tackles. Sonny, any thoughts of somebody who stood out to you on the Detroit Lions? You can't say Ross Bonham, by the way.
Oh no! Yeah, you're not gonna let me pick my boy Ross Bonham, huh?
How about Ziggy Ansah?
Ziggy Ansah was very disruptive today. I'd maybe consider Tease Tabor playing opposite Slay with that pick six. But yeah, I think Ziggy Ansah was basically disruptive the entire game, and I'd go for that.
Yeah, an isolated saying, Tease Tabor. We'll go Ziggy Ansah. Just the presence he had, a big part of that run defense, really absolutely stifled the New Orleans Saints. Ziggy Ansah will be your player of the game for Broadcast 186. And you can check out all of our player of the games on our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. I'll pull up this bracket again, if you'll excuse me. Let me do this one more time. There we go. The Giants are in the NFC Championship game. They'll take on the Lions, I think, and the Los Angeles Chargers with that late win against the Pittsburgh Steelers, taking on the Cleveland Browns. That's going to be, again, Friday night doubleheader action once again. No games tomorrow night. Friday night, we'll have the AFC and NFC Championship game back-to-back here on the network. Follow us on @BomberLeague on Twitter so you know when that game goes live. Banana's going, did I send you the wrong one? Does it look right, Banana? Bananas doesn't look correct. Any of those games, Sonny, is there one of those you're leaning towards as you're more excited to see, or those are two pretty good matchups?
I like that NFC game. I think the Chargers are going to run roughshod over the Cleveland Browns. I think that Browns team is going to have trouble scoring against this Chargers offense. They'll nullify the middle of the field. I like Chargers big in that one, but I think Detroit, New York Giants is going to be a barn burner.
Should be great matchups. Again, folks, follow us on Twitter @BomberLeague so you know when those games are going to go live. It's either going to be a 7 or 8 o'clock start here. Doubleheader action on the network. Sonny, two really good games here tonight. This felt like a wrestling card where you put on a great match before the main event. The main event comes out. Everybody's a little flat there. That Chargers-Steelers game was just so good. I don't think there was any way the Lions-Saints game could have lived up to it, but it was still a pretty good night of football here on the MBL Network.
Good night of football and good playoffs overall. Been a lot of entertaining games.
And we're not done yet, folks. Keep following us here on Twitch, twitch.tv/MBL Network. We're going to get out of here. I'm going to sleep for roughly 24 hours before we have to do another doubleheader. For my co-host, Sonny Weaver, I am OSU. We appreciate you guys tuning in to Divisional Action Doubleheader. We will see you Friday night for the AFC and NFC Championship doubleheader action. Once again, right here on MBL Live.